Chapter 841. I'm not doing it. Be good, just bite me once. Tang Bao saw that the more Di Hao Yin demanded, the more she did not dare to bite him. Who knew what Di Hao Yin would do? But Di Hao Yin was not the kind of person who would give up if he did not want him. He pulled Tang Bao into his arms and asked in a hoarse voice, "You're really not going to bite me? Have you forgotten that someone saw us in the elevator?" Tang Bao bit her lip and stared at Di Hao Yin with her watery eyes. Would this person not stop until he bit her? "Did you ask me to bite you?" Tang Bao was not going to be polite with him at all. She wanted to teach him a lesson. So Tang Bao opened her mouth and bit down hard. Ouch. Bao. Di Hao Yin held her head and pressed it against his chest. Tang Bao felt that she had bitten too hard and her teeth were sore. She had forgotten how hard Di Hao Yin's chest muscles were. Tang Bao looked up and looked at Di Hao Yin with dissatisfaction. "Are you satisfied?" "Yes," Di Hao Yin said and pressed down on Tang Bao. The next day, in T's office, the roses on the table were still beautiful and eye-catching. Di Hao Yin made a call to the bungalow. "Why are you looking for her?" "Look, if he's not scheming, why would he complain to you?" Yu Songhuan immediately caught on to this point and made a big fuss about it. "He's following you for a reason. Are you bewitched? If he's such a simple person, he won't let you know about this. Do you think she can hide it from me if I want to know? Isn't the extra card yours? You can find anyone, but not a man." Yu Songhuan also became tough. "I've said before, she's Tang Bao." Di Hao Yin's face was gloomy. "He just looks like Tang Bao. You can't see it clearly. Hao Yin, do you want me to die in my old age? Nothing has ever made me worry about you since you were a child. But why did you change completely after you married Tang Bao? Not a single thing was right. What do you want me to tell your father and grandfather after I die? Have you ever thought about me and the reputation of the Di clan? I love the Tang Bao. Is that wrong? But that's not the Tang Bao. If Tang Bao comes back, will you still make things difficult for her?" Di Hao Yin asked. "Not anymore. I hope you'll keep your word. Otherwise, I'll never see you again. You will know when we return to the castle for dinner tonight." After hanging up, Yu Songhuan didn't understand Di Hao Yin's intentions. Those words were vicious enough. But why did he say that he wanted to go to the castle for dinner? What was waiting for her? Aunt Wang looked at Yu Songhuan's dazed expression and asked, "Old madam, if one of them is young madam and the other is that man, will you accept young madam? Is there need to ask? If the Tang Bao is really alive, I will accept her. It's better than having Hao Yin keep an eye on a man, right?" Yu Songhuan naturally knew how to weigh the pros and cons. Not to mention the Tang Bao. It would be fine as long as it was a woman. In the castle hall, the Tang Bao didn't go out during the day. Anyway, the studio hadn't officially opened yet. She had to focus on the two babies now. They were going to school soon. At this moment, she was teaching Xiao Bao how to read on the sofa. Bao was also writing on the small desk next to her. "What's this?" Tang Bao asked as he pointed at the person on the card. "Person," Xiao Bao said after thinking for a while. "What's the +1 horizontal line?" Tang Bao pointed at the big on the side and asked. "Big. The cake is very big. Big," Xiao Bao said happily. Tang Bao was stunned. Who taught her that? Only someone who knew her well would teach her that. "What about this? What's the plus point at the bottom?" Tang Bao pointed at the tie and asked again. Xiao Bao tilted her head and thought for a while. Then her eyes lit up. "Dog." "What?" Tang Bao was stunned. He felt like he had been hit on the head with a stick. "How can this be a dog?" "Oh no, it's called... What's the word called?" "I remember now. It's called a dog." Tang Bao was speechless. "Who taught you that?" "My brother taught me." Bao, who was writing, looked at them silently. His expressionless face showed that he didn't want to explain. Of course, Tang Bao knew that it wasn't Bao who taught him that. "This is called Tai, not dog. The dots of the two characters are at the top and the bottom. Look, this is called a dog." Tang Bao patiently wrote out the words for Xiao Bao. Xiao Bao frowned. "What strange words. But even though you got it wrong, at least you know that a dog is a dog. That's great." Xiao Bao was happy. "Really?" "Yes." Tang Bao encouraged her. Tang Bao sighed in relief. To be honest, she had never been so patient even when she was studying. Yu Songhuan walked into the hall and saw the scene. He couldn't believe it and was speechless. Tang Bao was still teaching Xiao Bao when he was stunned by Yusong Huan, who suddenly appeared in front of him. She also realized how she was dressed in the castle. Except for her short hair, she looked like a Tang Bao. Yesterday, she was still arguing with Yusong Huan. Today, she looked like a Tang Bao. It was no wonder that Yusong Huan looked like he couldn't accept it. "You're not dead?" Yusong Huan still stared at Tang Bao's face in disbelief. Before Tang Bao could say anything, the two little guys looked unhappy. Xiao Bao ran to Yusong Huan. "Grandma, why did you say that my mommy will die?" "Mommy won't die. Mommy will live until she's 1,000 years old." She looked like she was about to cry because Yusong Huan had said something he shouldn't have. Yusong Huan quickly comforted her. "No, that's not what Grandma meant. Be good, don't cry. Grandma can't wait to dote on you." Tang Bao was a little nervous. 1,000 years old? Have I become an old hag now? All right, no matter what Xiao Bao said, it was 1,000 years. She would just treat it as 100 years. Di Haoyin walked in. "What's wrong?" Tang Bao said. "It's nothing." "Xiao Bao, are you hungry?" "I'm hungry." Xiao Bao immediately forgot about her crying when she heard about food. Yusong Huan listened to the voice that belonged to Tang Bao. Only then did he seem to be sure that Tango was really the Tang Bao. Di Haoyin had told her from the beginning, but she didn't believe him. Now, she had no choice but to believe him. When they were eating at the dining table, Yusong Huan looked like she couldn't come back to her senses. She was starting to blame her son now. How could she know if he was telling the truth? She thought that he was obsessed and insisted on mistaking a man for Tang Bao. Now, she was very embarrassed. Fortunately, there were children around. Otherwise, the atmosphere would be even more unnatural. Could it be that she was the only one who didn't know about it? Zhang had told her about this man last time. Now, it seemed that she knew. Zhang Li, who had been coldly glanced at, looked very innocent. Chapter 842. She couldn't help but look at Di Haoyin. "What does this have to do with you? I already said that I would settle it, but you just had to interfere, bastard." After dinner, the two babies went to play. Di Haoyin, Tang Bao, and Yusong Huan sat in the living room. "Since you're back, why didn't you just tell me the truth? Did you think it was fun when I went to look for you yesterday?" Yusong Huan asked, pulling a long face. "If I said that, would you think that I'm crazy?" Tang Bao asked. Yusong Huan had nothing to say. That was indeed the case. For a man to say that he was the Tang Bao, he was either too engrossed in the act or playing with her. She wouldn't believe it no matter what. She might even scold him with worse words. "It's okay. Let bygones be bygones. I didn't take it to heart. That card," Yusong Huan immediately said, "that's for the children. It's for them to buy some food and necessities." "Oh, okay." Tang Bao took it as giving the other party a way out and accepted it. Yusong Huan wasn't wrong. After all, they were her biological grandchildren. It was normal to give them some money. "If that's the case, I have to go back," Yusong Huan said and left. In the living room, Tang Bao looked at Di Haoyin and glared at him. "You're such a good son. How can you blame me?" She didn't believe it herself, so I could only use this method. Although it made her lose face, at least she won't have to worry about her son circling around a man all day. Di Haoyin looked at Tang Bao with his dark eyes. Tang Bao chose to ignore him and turn away. "That's good too. I won't have to trouble myself in the future." However, Yusong Huan didn't ask her anything else. He probably wouldn't be able to get an answer from her. Thinking back, if it wasn't for her, how could things have turned out this way? Yusong Huan would be too embarrassed to ask her about it himself. That's good too. She could accept it like this, not care about the past, and get along without any conflicts. There were advantages to letting Di Haoyin handle this. At least, no matter what his son did, he wouldn't say anything. It was different for a wife. "What are you thinking about?" Di Haoyin moved closer and put his arm around her waist. "I'm thinking, is school starting next week? Let's go together then." "You're going too?" Tang Bao was stunned. After that, he realized that he had asked the wrong question. He could clearly feel that something was wrong with Di Haoyin's aura. "What I mean is, will anyone recognize you? I don't want others to treat the two treasures differently. Many people would definitely be interested in the child of the Emperor City's king. It's even better if you know." Otherwise, won't you be bullied? Do you think her Bao will be bullied? Aren't you underestimating yourself too much? Tang Bao retorted with Di Hao Ian's words. You're right, but it doesn't matter if they know about this. We should let them know that we're their people to deal with. Don't worry. Okay. Tang Bao thought about it and agreed. Moreover, the children in the Ivy League were either rich or respectable. They should be able to play together. On the day of the Ivy League's opening ceremony, Di Hao Ian and Tang Bao brought the two treasures to school to attend their opening ceremony. On the stage, the school's leaders gave a speech and the seniors performed. Di Hao Ian and Tang Bao sat below the stage. Di Hao Ian wore sunglasses. His expression was cold, and his thin lips were pursed. He had an imposing aura, even though he wasn't angry. He would always attract attention, especially from women. Tang Bao wasn't dressed as a man today. He was dressed as a woman with long hair and a dress. It wasn't like she didn't see those women peeping at Di Hao Ian. Anyway, she was used to it and pretended not to see it. Just as she was focused on the performance on the stage, her hand was wrapped. It was firm and rough to the touch. She didn't need to look to know who it was. It was on her left. Who else could it be other than Di Hao Ian? Of course, Tang Bao was also afraid of being seen. They were here to attend the children's opening ceremony. Why were the two of them being so intimate? It was immoral. Tang Bao wanted to withdraw her hand. However, Di Hao Ian's strength wasn't something an ordinary person could shake. After a few tries, Di Hao Ian didn't move at all. Tang Bao secretly glared at him, but he pretended not to see it. Then, a low and hoarse voice sounded in her ear. If you move again, I'll kiss you. Tang Bao did not move. There were already women staring at Di Hao Ian. If she were to be kissed, wouldn't she be seen clearly by everyone? Therefore, Tang Bao endured it. After the opening ceremony, the family took photos on the school lawn. Tang Bao was prepared to take a photo properly. She and Di Hao Ian stood in front of the two little guys. After standing in position, Hiju was about to press the shutter. Tang Bao felt a tightness on her shoulder, and she was pulled into Di Hao Ian's arms. Tang Bao instinctively turned to glare at Di Hao Ian. Thus, the shot was frozen. After taking the photo, Tang Bao saw Hiju put away his phone and quickly said, "Take another photo. I didn't stand properly just now." "Young master, do you want to take another photo?" Hiju asked. "Sure." This time, they took a photo properly. However, Di Hao Ian's hand was not obedient and was holding Tang Bao's waist. This was much better than before, so Tang Bao didn't say anything. As long as it wasn't too much, she could accept it. When the two babies went to play elsewhere, Di Hao Ian pulled Tang Bao to take photos again. "Do you like to take photos?" Tang Bao asked. "I like to take photos with you." Tang Bao's face heated up, but she didn't say anything. Then Di Hao Ian held up his phone and took photos with the school as the background. Tang Bao was being rubbed around by Di Hao Ian. She posed in all kinds of positions. There was also a photo of her hugging Di Hao Ian's waist. It was really intimate. Tang Bao looked around and said, "Di Hao Ian, why didn't the school's leaders come to look for you?" "I warned them," Di Hao Ian said without changing his expression. That made sense. She was wondering why they didn't recognize Di Hao Ian. It must be more than just a warning, right? Di Hao Ian's bodyguards and the crowd in the distance couldn't wait to stop anyone. No wonder it was so quiet. The two babies soon played with the other children. They were all playing in the school's amusement park. A few children gathered together and bragged. After bragging, they asked Xiao Bao, who was silent at the side, "I have a lot of beautiful dolls. How many do you have?" Xiao Bao said 80,000. "So many? I only have a dozen." The other children were envious. Bao looked at Xiao Bao. "Your dress is really beautiful." The other children looked at Xiao Bao's dress. "Yeah, I have 1,000 dresses." Xiao Bao was delighted. Bao was speechless. Xiao Bao didn't know the concept of 1,000 at all. He had taught her before that she should count as many as she could. She shouldn't say 1,000 at once. Wasn't she afraid of scaring people? The others were already so shocked that they couldn't close their mouths. Tang Bao took the phone from Di Hao Ian's hand and said, "Let me see." Di Hao Ian showed it to her. Chapter 843. It was just that the background was different. When she saw the first photo, she was being hugged by Di Hao Yin, and she instinctively glared at him. It was very real, and there was no intention of posing. However, it made her heart beat faster. It was as if she was having some kind of emotional interaction with Di Hao Yin. Tang Bao took the opportunity to delete the photo. However, it was taken away in the next second. I haven't finished looking at it. Tang Bao was unhappy. If I show it to you again, I'll delete it. Tang Bao blushed a little as he was seen through. I don't think that photo is good. I like it the most. The next day, Di Hao Yin and Tang Bao sent the two babies to school. After entering the classroom, Di Hao Yin and Tang Bao turned around and left. However, when they turned the corner, Tang Bao turned around and leaned against the window to peek. Di Hao Yin. Bao did not seem to be affected. His expression was about the same as at home. It was just that Xiao Bao looked a little pitiful. She clung tightly to Bao as if she was very scared. Then she saw Bao holding Xiao Bao's hand and not letting go. When he was playing with the other children, he also pulled Xiao Bao along. After a while, Xiao Bao got used to it and smiled. Tang Bao, who was peeking, heaved a sigh of relief. Are you relieved? Di Hao Yin asked with a smile in his dark eyes. Tang Bao put his hands on his waist. Aren't you worried? Didn't you see Xiao Bao's pitiful face? Bao is very sensible, but don't forget that he's only 3 years old. Di Hao Yin came closer and hugged her. They looked out of the window together and whispered in her ear, Look, they're playing very well. Inside, Bao and Xiao Bao were indeed playing with the crystal clay with the other children under the guidance of their teacher. They were being asked to mold the people or things they liked. What do you think Bao and Xiao Bao will make? Tang Bao asked Di Hao Yin curiously. How about this? You make a guess. If you're right, I'll let you off tonight. If you're wrong, I could do whatever I want with you. What do you think? The corners of Tang Bao's mouth twitched. When have I not allowed you to play with me? Did she have any say in this matter? I'm not guessing. She was afraid of guessing wrong. If you don't guess, then you've given up. If you surrender, then you'll still be at my mercy. Tang Bao really wanted to bite him to death. Play, play, play. One day I'll be played to death by you. But what if she won? Wouldn't that mean he could have a peaceful night? All right, I'll bet with you. My guess is that Xiao Bao knows how to make a cake, and Bao. Tang Bao pondered. Could he be making a book? Ball? It could also be a person. Who is this person? Di Hao Yin? Her? Tang Bao felt that the possibility of the two babies making an object was higher. It's almost time. Tang Bao was depressed. He was counting the time. Xiao Bao makes a cake, and Bao makes a book. He thought about how Bao usually liked to read. It should be this. Di Hao Yin's lips curled into a sexy and charming smile. Bao, you guessed all wrong. Impossible. Tang Bao was nervous. I got all of them right. Then let's wait and see. Di Hao Yin's hot breath gushed into Tang Bao's ear. Tang Bao's neck could not help but shrink, as if his fair skin was dyed red. She could not help but turn a glare at Di Hao Yin. However, her little mouth almost brushed against Di Hao Yin's thin lips. She was so scared that she quickly behaved herself. Tang Bao endured Di Hao Yin's harassment and stared at the two babies in the classroom. He thought to himself, didn't they say that a mother and her son's heart are connected? It must be what I think it is, right? Otherwise, I'll be tormented again tonight. However, Tang Bao's eyes widened. He looked at the things in front of the two babies. They did not look like a cake and a book. It was actually two people. Due to technical problems, he could not tell whether it was a man or a woman. But from this point alone, it was obvious that she had lost. The teacher asked, Di Yunxi, you made a person. Then who did you make? Can you tell me? It's my mommy. Then Di Ban Han, who did you make? My mommy. It seems that you both like your mommy very much. The teacher smiled. Tang Bao looked at the two cute little guys in the classroom and felt very touched. Previously, he was jealous of Di Hao Yin. It turned out that in their hearts, she was the most important. Now have you lost? Di Hao Yin asked. How do you know that I'm wrong? Could it be that you guessed it? If he had known, Tang Bao would have asked Di Hao Yin to make a guess too. The cake and the book are just external objects. The most important person is you. Di Hao Ian's voice was very low, but every word he said reached Tang Bao's ears. It filled her heart with happiness. Even if she lost, she was not unhappy at all. Even if Di Hao Ian did something to her at night, she accepted it willingly. When they left the school, Tang Bao asked, Di Hao Ian, don't you feel that it's unfair? The two babies made me. You didn't make a single mistake. Shouldn't I? If they really made me, I'll talk to them at night. Why? Di Hao Ian looked at her with his deep black eyes. You raised them. I've only known them for 2 months. I've forgotten about you in just over 2 months. If that's not an ingrate, then what is? You can't say that. Don't we still have blood ties? Your blood ties are more deeply rooted. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian. He really did not care about this. Since he did not care, she did not say anything. We'll pick them up at 4 o'clock, Di Hao Ian said. Okay. Tang Bao nodded. When they came to pick up the two babies at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they were very happy. Di Hao Ian carried them into the car with each arm. In the car, Tang Bao asked, How do you feel about your first day of school today? Bao said, Not bad. Tang Bao could not help but laugh. Not bad? What else do you want? Xiao Bao rushed to answer. I feel very happy. At noon, the teacher even gave us food. What did you have for lunch? Tang Bao asked. Meat, green vegetables, Xiao Bao said. Did you eat all of them? Mommy said to eat all of them, so I ate them. But I saw that brother didn't eat carrots. Xiao Bao immediately complained. Bao's little face was a little embarrassed. He had been protecting her in school, but she complained when she came back. Tang Bao glared at Bao. Didn't I tell you not to be picky with your food? Bao said reluctantly. Okay. Xiao Bao went up to him. Brother, are you angry? Bao looked at her. No. Why would he be angry with her over such a small matter? He was not that petty. Brother has to eat carrots, or else he will get sick, Xiao Bao said. Bao pursed his lips and did not say anything, but he felt very comfortable when he heard that. So she was worried that he would get sick. Mommy, I want to eat cake when we go back. I haven't eaten cake for a day. Xiao Bao pounced on Tang Bao. Didn't the teacher give us food? Tang Bao asked. Chapter 844. Who are you giving it to? Di Hao Ian asked. Tang Bao thought to herself. Do you have to ask such a question when you already know the answer? Of course it's for you. Who else can I give it to other than you? As she spoke, she even kissed Di Hao Ian's thin lips. Just as she was about to pull away after the kiss, the back of her neck was held, and he kissed her hard. Tang Bao felt her brain go blank for a moment. She was a little breathless, and her face was even redder. Before things got out of hand, Di Hao Ian let go of her, and his dark eyes were deep. Of course, Tang Bao was not angry. Not only was she not angry, she even had a smile after being kissed. Me arranging flowers? Arranging flowers is more important than me. Stop it, we still need to eat. Tang Bao pulled his hand away and stood up from his lap. She went to arrange flowers for him. She removed the dead branches in the vase and replaced them with the new ones. Di Hao Ian wrapped his strong body around her from behind. You will still wither in the future. Then I'll continue to buy more. Tang Bao still did not know what Di Hao Ian was trying to say. It was not that she was very powerful, but Di Hao Ian deliberately used a tone that she could understand. Okay, Di Hao Ian bit her. Stop biting. Let's eat. Where are we going to eat? My private dining room. You didn't send people to go to 6 stores to buy special dishes again, did you? Tang Bao asked. Di Hao Ian did not say anything, but from the look on Tang Bao's face, she could tell that it was most likely the case. After entering Di Hao Ian's private dining room, she saw the dishes on the table. Although she did not know if they were special dishes, they smelled, and looked good. She did not ask any further. It was better to just fill her stomach. Di Hao Ian would not listen to her suggestions anyway. While eating, Tang Bao thought of something and said to Di Hao Ian, Do you know the surname of the little boy that I bumped into today? His surname is Di, and he's from the Imperial City. What's so strange about that? Tang Bao was surprised. Not strange. I thought that your family was the only one with this surname in the Imperial City. Many years ago, someone purposely changed his surname and wanted to use the surname Di. It can't be, right? Isn't he afraid that his ancestors will crawl out of their graves? Ancestors don't care that much. Di Haoyin laughed. There's also someone who changed his surname to swindle people. Although Tang Bao was quite knowledgeable, this kind of thing was like listening to a story. However, she believed what Di Haoyin said. For example, if you wanted to discuss business with someone and say that your surname was Di, you would immediately be able to see the person you wanted to see. The Di family was so powerful in the imperial city. This was something she had known for a long time. Then if I change my surname to Di, everything will come true. Tang Bao said jokingly. You don't need to change it. You're already mine. Your surname is Di. Di Tang Bao. One ugly name. Yes, young Madam Di sounds better. Di Haoyin agreed. Tang Bao quickly forgot about the little boy and did not think much of it. In any case, Di Haoyin himself said that there would be other people with the surname Di in the imperial city. At the Ivy Academy kindergarten, a new child had arrived. He was in Tu Bao's class. The teacher introduced him to everyone. I'm very happy. Little friend Di Bowling has transferred to the Ivy Academy and is in our class. Give little friend Di Bowling a round of applause to welcome him. Then, the children below clapped their little hands sparsely. Then little Bao moved closer to Tu Bao's ear. Brother, he has the same surname as us. And then, after Di Bowling sat down, he heard people talking about him. His little face turned cold as he looked at Tu Bao. Then, using a voice that the other party could hear, he said to little Bao fiercely, If you speak ill of me again, do you believe that I will lift your skirt? Little Bao opened his little mouth slightly and was stunned. Then he shrunk back to Tu Bao's side. This person was so fierce. Tu Bao tried to defend his little sister. She didn't speak ill of you. She's telling the truth. Di Bowling really didn't like the look of this person. After school, Di Haoyin's car came to pick them up outside the school. After Tu Bao got on the car, they discovered that Di Haoyin and Tang Bao were also there. Instantly, they were in a good mood. Little Bao threw herself into Tang Bao's arms and complained, Mommy, there's a new classmate today. He's bad. Why is he bad? Tang Bao asked with a smile. He said that he would lift my skirt. Little Bao pouted unhappily. Tang Bao looked at Di Haoyin in astonishment. She found it funny, but she also asked very seriously, Why did he say that? Because after teacher introduced him, I told Big Brother that he has the same surname as us. When he heard that, he said that I was bad-mouthing him and wanted to lift my skirt. I didn't. Little Bao felt wronged. Tang Bao patted her head and comforted her. He was just scaring you. He wouldn't do that. Little Bao was at a loss. However, Tang Bao thought to herself, could there really be many people with the surname Di in the imperial city? The little kid they had met by chance previously, and this time, it was Tu Bao's classmate who also had the surname Di. They couldn't be the same person, right? That was hard to say. After all, they were all little kids. Tang Bao asked then, What's that little kid's name? Di. Little Bao couldn't remember. Di Bowling, Tu Bao said. Tang Bao was surprised. It really is him. What a coincidence. Tu Bao asked, Mommy, do you know him? I accidentally bumped into him the last time and got to know him. However, we can't be considered close friends. I only know that's his name, Tang Bao said. Then he said to Di Haoyin, That kid is chubby and very good looking. He looks like a smart kid. No, it's not just looks. Although once I talked to him, I was concerned about him, and he asked me if I had any intentions towards him. When I asked him how he was, he said that he didn't like people asking him about his privacy. He's quite a strong-minded kid. I wonder whose family he is. Tu Bao wasn't interested in this and asked, Did he hurt Mommy? Tang Bao sweated. No, I'm an adult. I won't be hurt by him. I was the one who bumped into him, and to express my apology, I treated him to a meal. Mommy, you have to treat me to a meal too. Little Bao was anxious. All right, I'll treat you to a feast back at the castle. Yay! Little Bao was delighted. Tang Bao laughed dryly. This child was too easily satisfied. Di Haoyin didn't say anything. He just watched this heartwarming scene. His gaze fell on Tang Bao's face. Seeing her smile, so deep and doting, he was even more satisfied than Little Bao. Tu Bao didn't say anything either, thinking that he had a plan in mind. That was, if D. Bowling wanted to bully little Bao again, he knew how to deal with him. D. Bowling stood under a tall tree, looking at the students playing not far away. His cold temperament showed that he didn't want to join in at all. At this moment, something sprayed over from the side and sprayed on his body. Even though it was a small black suit, the red paint on it could be seen clearly because it was a lump. Chapter 845. She turned her face and glared at Di Haoyan, while Di Haoyan smiled. This scene looked very natural and also very doting and happy. There was no problem with the photo, but why did he have to cut the two babies? Couldn't he have let them go? It was obvious that Di Haoyan's possessiveness had flared up. He didn't even let the two children off. It was almost noon. The two babies should be having lunch at school by now, right? Tang Bao washed up and walked out of the room. She went downstairs. When Zhongli saw her, he immediately walked over. "Young madam, are you hungry? Shall we eat now?" Tang Bao nodded and asked, "How did the two babies get to school? She shouldn't have been complained about being an incompetent mother, right? The young master sent them." Tang Bao was stunned. She thought it was the chauffeur who sent them. "The young master probably went straight back to tea after sending them off," Zhongli said. "Okay, I'll eat then." After Tang Bao finished eating, Zhongli said, "Young madam, the young master asked you to call him after you're done eating." Tang Bao, who was walking out of the restaurant, was stunned. "When did he say that?" "When I sent Bao and Xiao Bao this morning." Tang Bao thought, was there something important? Zhongli forgot to say. Zhongli wasn't a forgetful person. Tang Bao was puzzled. She took out her phone and wanted to call Di Haoyan. When she saw the screen, she was still not used to it. It was as if Di Haoyan was smiling at her, making her face heat up. She turned around to look at Zhongli. Zhongli said that he didn't see anything, but the smile on his face didn't say that. Tang Bao moved away from her before calling Di Haoyan. "What's wrong? You're awake? Did you sleep well?" Di Haoyan asked in a low voice. "You asked me to call you just to ask this?" Tang Bao was depressed. "Can't I ask?" Di Haoyan's voice sank. "No." Tang Bao touched his nose. He did not want to reason with the overbearing Di Haoyan. "Did they get angry when you sent them to school this morning?" "No, I'm very happy. Can I discuss something with you?" Tang Bao asked. "No. I haven't even said anything yet." "I know what you're going to say. The world is big, but you're the biggest." The corner of Tang Bao's mouth twitched. This person was truly too evil. She was at a loss for words to describe him. "But I want to give you two treasures as soon as possible. You don't need to send me every day. I'll send you to school for a few days. In the future, I'll get the driver to send you. We'll send them or pick them up when we're free. Don't spoil them." Tang Bao was speechless. "You call this spoiling them? What do you call picking me up in the morning and at night? You're really serious when you say it. Then why did you put a photo on my phone screen? It's fine if you did it, but isn't there 4 people in that photo? It's just the 2 of us now. What's the problem?" "No problem. There were 4 people, but now there are 2 people. If you want to send 4 people." "No, I want to change it." "You can't change it." "Why?" "I've set a password." Tang Bao had forgotten that this phone was given to her by Di Haoyan. She did not even know that she could set a password for her screensaver. So in the future, if Di Haoyan wanted to do anything to her, she would not be able to do anything. His desire for control was truly abnormally strong. "Are you coming to the studio in the afternoon?" Di Haoyan asked. "Yes. Malay and Yu Lian are going to see my studio." "Can your body take it?" Di Haoyan asked. How could Tang Bao not hear the evil in his words? "If I can't take it, then don't touch me." Di Haoyan laughed in a low voice. "Tell me when you're there. Didn't you see the surveillance camera? Do you need me to tell you?" Tang Bao did not understand. How is this the same? How is it different? The bumpy ride made Tang Bao's body feel a little tired. She almost got out of the car, like a pregnant woman. However, when she saw Wan Malay and Yu Lian wandering around the studio, she immediately stopped supporting her. Was it glorious to be known by others? "Why are you here so early?" Tang Bao asked. "We can't rest for too long in the afternoon. If you didn't come, we would have left immediately," Wan Malay said. "Why? Can't you get up in the morning?" Yu Yilian's eyes had a meaningful smile. No, I'm sending the two babies to school. When Tang Bao spoke, he did not look at them. Vice President Yu, let me tell you, when Tang Bao lies, his eyes don't dare to look at people. They're always like this, blinking. Wang Malay did not mind exposing Tang Bao. Tang Bao glared at her. Even if you don't tell me, I can tell. Yu Yinlian looked as if she had seen through it. Wang Malay asked curiously, how did you see through it? Look at her eyes, rippling like water. Her face is moist and flushed. Isn't that what a delicate flower looks like after being nourished? Yu Yinlian analyzed. Wang Malay laughed. You're right. Tang Bao was about to fly into a rage out of humiliation. Are you two done fooling around? Okay. We won't talk about it anymore. How's the recruitment coming along? Wang Malay asked. Do you want to borrow two of Ku Chin's public relations staff? Yu Yinlian asked. They're all women, right? Tang Bao asked. Yes, they're all women. When you were in Ku Chin, the young emperor instructed that all of them must be women. Wang Malay was afraid that she would not remember. You don't have to remind me. I haven't forgotten. Tang Bao glared at her friend. So you're hiring all women now? Wang Malay asked curiously. Who said so? Tang Bao showed them a recruitment notice on the table. There's no limit to men and women. Wang Malay looked at the piece of paper in surprise. The young emperor didn't tear up for you? Would he dare? Tang Bao said proudly. Oh. Your wings have hardened. You can fly now. Wang Malay laughed. Are you here to laugh at me? Tang Bao was unhappy. No, is there? We're just telling the truth. Wang Malay asked Yu Yinlian, are we telling the truth? Absolutely. Tang Bao really didn't want to talk about this topic with them. If she did, she would definitely lose completely. At this moment, is this Ibao Film and Television Studio? I'm here for an interview. A woman walked in and asked. Wang Malay and Yu Yinlian looked at each other and smiled. Tang Bao felt like he couldn't keep his face straight. This company name was registered by Di Haoyan. She only found out about it afterward. Go ahead. We'll wait for you. Yu Yinlian winked at her. Tang Bao brought the woman to the office. After the interview, the woman left. Tang Bao walked out of the office. Yu Yinlian and Wang Malay were chatting there. How is it? Wang Malay asked. Chapter 846. Wow, you're quite good. Yu Yinlian admired her. Tang Bao took out her phone. I'll order some snacks and tea over. Let's talk while we eat. After the call, Tang Bao subconsciously put her phone on the table. She thought of something and quickly turned over. What are you hiding? We all saw it, Yu Yinlian said. Ha. Wang Malay laughed until she was convulsing. Don't laugh. Be careful not to faint. Tang Bao's face was red. She knew that leaving a photo like this would definitely cause her trouble. See, it had only been a day, and she was already being laughed at. How many people would see her phone when she went to various events in the future? This is obviously the young emperor's masterpiece. Vice President Yu, you don't know, but the young emperor was like this in the past, extremely domineering. But my family's baby still insists on putting up a final struggle. Wang Malay was extremely happy. Anyone with eyes can definitely tell. Speaking of Di Haoyan, Tang Bao remembered that she hadn't told Di Haoyan about her coming to the studio. It shouldn't be a big problem, right? She had friends now, so it wasn't convenient. It was just a small matter. After they left, she would call Di Haoyan and tell him, all right, when will you open for business? Aren't you going to let the employees work yet? Yu Yinlian asked. I've already set the time. When my artists are about to finish filming, I'll let them work. It can save some money. Tang Bao said. Stingy. Wang Malay pursed her lips. What's wrong with being stingy? I know how to live. Tang Bao said confidently. This means that she already has the potential to be a boss. Because all bosses in the world are like this, trying to maximize their own benefits. Yu Yinlian expressed that she understood. Wang Malay was suddenly curious. The young emperor isn't as stingy as you, right? His status is much higher than the other bosses, right? Are you sure? Yu Yinlian asked. Isn't it? He gave money to the Tang Bao without batting an eyelid. He even gave her a gold-plated black card, which made her hands go numb from swiping it. She bought the brand. Like I told you before, Ling has long become the exclusive brand of the Tang Bao, Wan Malay said. I'm talking about business. Don't even think about taking advantage of him. He'll calculate every single cent for you. Previously, there was a small mistake in the budget and no one noticed it. Young Emperor looked over and directly scolded that person. Yu Yanlian said admiringly, Are you serious? I saw that he was so generous with the Tang Bao, so I thought he would be generous in other areas as well. That's because he dotes on Tang Bao. Naturally, he can't wait to give her all the good stuff. Besides, even if T was a small number, the final transaction would be worth hundreds of millions. How much less do you think it would be? The young master was as smart as a ghost. If you want to do something under his nose, you'll have to be tired of living. The Tang Bao was silent and didn't say anything. She didn't know about these things. She only heard about it from Yu Lian, including the fact that Di Haoyan transferred T to her. When he gave her the black card in the past, T's foundation hadn't been transferred to her yet. That was because the Tang Qishan was still alive at that time. At that time, he was very generous. It should be said that from the moment she met Di Haoyan, he was very generous. Transferring the Emperor family's assets to her wasn't just being generous, it was almost as crazy as that. A normal person definitely wouldn't do it. Wait, if she spent money now, wouldn't it be equivalent to spending her own money? Should she be more stingy? She had afternoon tea with Wan Malay and Yu Lianlian. After they returned to the company, the Tang Bao immediately sent a text message to Di Haoyan. She wanted to call. Yu Lianlian and Wan Malay were around just now, so it wasn't convenient for me to call you. After thinking about it, she deleted the typesetting and called Di Haoyan directly. However, no one picked up when he made a call. What was going on? Was he busy? Hence, the Tang Bao thought that she would call him later. She asked him to call again later, but no one answered. Was Di Haoyan that busy? But no matter how busy he was in the past, even if he was in a meeting, he would always pick up her call immediately. The Tang Bao couldn't get through, so she could only go to the tea office next door. She went straight to the floor where Di Haoyan was. The office door was tightly shut. The Tang Bao knocked on the door, but no one answered. Was he not there? Just then, the secretary walked over and asked, Is the young master here? He's in the office. He hasn't come out yet. Could he be asleep? The Tang Bao muttered and pushed the door open. The Tang Bao thought that he was sleeping in a lounge, but when he looked, he saw Di Haoyan lying lazily on the sofa with a cold expression on his face. His black eyes were cold. He didn't even look at the Tang Bao. His entire body was cold, and the phone was on the coffee table in front of him. The moment the Tang Bao saw this, he knew that Di Haoyan was angry. His entire body was exuding a cold aura that kept people away. The Tang Bao pursed his lips, walked forward, and sat down beside Di Haoyan. Di Haoyan ignored him and looked straight ahead. I'm sorry. Wan Malay and Yu Lianlian were there just now. It wasn't convenient for me to call you, the Tang Bao explained to him. It wasn't convenient for you to call them when they were there. Di Haoyan's face was cold. The Tang Bao cursed in his heart. Wasn't it just that I didn't call you? Did you have to be so angry? It was as if he had committed a heinous crime. Then I think I could have called you later, the Tang Bao said in confusion. In other words, they are more important than me. Di Haoyan's expression became even colder, and his black eyes were sharp. The Tang Bao bit his lip. Did this person have to be compared like this? Di Haoyan, are you jealous? Is it that hard to tell? Di Haoyan's black eyebrows were tightly knitted. That's not it. The Tang Bao was a little choked. You really have the guts to admit it. I'm here to apologize to you now. Okay? I won't do it again. Di Haoyan did not speak, but his expression did not improve because of the Tang Bao's apology. The Tang Bao did not know what to do. Di Haoyan was really not easy to coax. Should she kiss him? Forget it. So be it. She did not want Di Haoyan to be emitting cold air all the time. This was even scarier. The Tang Bao stood up. Di Haoyan's black eyes darkened. She wanted to leave? He became even more irritable. However, in the next second, the Tang Bao directly pressed Di Haoyan's body back against the back of the sofa. When Di Haoyan raised his face slightly, she stared into his dark, deep, and sharp eyes. Then the Tang Bao kissed his thin lips. It was not just a light kiss. The Tang Bao blushed, But she had to do this in order to make Di Hao Yin return to normal. Di Hao Yin felt his whole body tense up. The longer the kiss, the deeper Di Hao Yin's eyes became. It was extremely dangerous. However, he suppressed it and did not show that he was strongly affected. Chapter 847. She retracted her lips and looked at Di Hao Yin with a blushing face. Her expression was still cold. Why didn't it work? Tang Bao took a deep breath and said helplessly, "I like you." Di Hao Yin's dark eyes were stunned. His voice was low and hoarse. "What did you say? It's fine if you didn't hear me. I'll tell you when you've calmed down." Tang Bao straightened her body and turned to leave. However, how could Di Hao Yin let go of such an opportunity? He grabbed her wrist. Tang Bao felt his grip tighten around her wrist, and she fell towards the sofa. She was pinned down by Di Hao Yin's strong body. Tang Bao looked at the sharp eyes above her and asked, "What do you want? Say what you said just now again." Di Hao Yin seemed to want to hear it immediately. Otherwise, he would never let go of her strength. "I forgot." Tang Bao blinked her big eyes innocently. "Don't you know that good words are not said twice?" Besides, she didn't believe that Di Hao Yin didn't hear it. He was very sharp. "You forgot?" "Yes. When you pulled me just now." "Ah." Tang Bao's tone changed. "Di Hao Yin, let go of me." "You can't remember?" "Hubby will help you. I'll stop whenever you remember." "Ah, don't. I remember now." Tang Bao struggled weakly and begged for mercy. "Di Hao Yin, stop it. I remember now. I really remember now. I like you." Di Hao Yin suddenly stopped and looked at her with his sharp black eyes. It was as if he was going to swallow her whole. "Say it again." Di Hao Yin's hand caressed Tang Bao's fair face. It was so rough. Tang Bao felt her face getting hotter and hotter, as if it was burning. She thought that it must be very red. Then, she conveyed this feeling to Di Hao Yin's hand. The air was so thick that Tang Bao's breathing became more and more labored. Then, under Di Hao Yin's intense gaze, she opened her soft lips slightly and mouthed, "I like you." After saying that, Tang Bao felt that she was almost suffocating. The shadow came down and completely covered her face. "I love you." After being kissed, she couldn't even feel her breath. She couldn't even feel the taste of being kissed. What did Di Hao Yin say? He said, "I love you, love who? Me? But why? Could it be a reciprocation after I said I like you? Was it reciprocity?" However, no matter what the reason was, she had lost her ability to think. Until, Di Hao Yin, you bastard. You didn't refuse. You get out of my way. This is your office. Tang Bao's face was red. She wanted to kick him with both feet, hoping that she would disappear on the spot. Tang Bao hated herself to death. Why did she get distracted just now? Was it because of what Di Hao Yin said? But she didn't dare to ask now. She felt that her heart was extremely unstable when she thought of those 3 words. It was as if her soul had been taken away by those 3 words. "Someone will come in." Tang Bao tensed up. "No one will come in. Repeat what you said just now." Di Hao Yin forced her. I don't know." Tang Bao shook her head sadly. Why did he keep forcing her to say it? Di Hao Yin asked the obvious every time. "Not saying it again?" Tang Bao was about to cry. Why don't you say it yourself?" "I love you." Di Hao Yin's voice was low and hoarse, but he said it with emotion. Tang Bao's heart was beating faster, as if it was going to jump out of her chest. How could he be so unscrupulous? She didn't have any defense and said it out loud, just like that. Di Hao Yin gently kissed Tang Bao's small mouth, which was gasping for breath. Her clear eyes were completely dazed. "Bao, I'll tell you every day in the future." As long as you let me go every day, it's okay," Tang Bao said weakly. His heartbeat was still thumping loudly, because those 3 words were said again. "That's impossible. Bao, do you like me?" Tang Bao bit her lips hard. Her face was so red that it was about to burn. "It's okay. I'll let you say it." When Tang Bao woke up, she was in Di Hao Yin's lounge. She was alone. Her consciousness seemed to be slowly waking up from the chaos. Before she reached the lounge, she had already surrendered to Di Hao Yin's shameless methods. She was already speechless with Di Hao Yin. From last night until now, she had only rested in the morning. Outside the huge floor-to-ceiling window, the sky was dark. She looked at the time. It was almost 9 o'clock. Tang Bao got out of bed and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window to look at the night view of the city. It was really beautiful. Di Haoyin really knew how to enjoy life. She heard the door open behind her. Tang Bao didn't need to turn around. She could see the tall and dark figure walking towards her through the glass. Tang Bao turned around and walked away. Di Haoyin hugged her. "Bao, what's wrong? Stay away from me. I can't do it." Di Haoyin refused to let go. "Do you still want me to live?" Tang Bao was furious. "Of course. Your husband will let you live well. Live for me alone." Di Haoyin's domineering words were transmitted to her ears. You're so domineering." Tang Bao blushed and turned away. Di Haoyin's lips curled up. "Besides, you said that you like me. How can I control myself? I can't wait to let you stay in my arms for a month." Tang Bao cursed silently. How could he blame her for this? How could this person be so unreasonable? "Bao, I don't have any resistance against you." Tang Bao bit her lip and didn't say anything, because she could see it. Di Haoyin was really like what he said. Tang Bao looked up and glared at him weakly. "Didn't you use up those things? Where did you get them?" "I went to buy them this afternoon." "How many did you buy?" 2 boxes. They're in my car." "Why didn't you move their shop back to the castle?" "They only have 2 boxes." Tang Bao really didn't want to say anything to him. If she wanted Di Haoyin to control himself, she would have to die. Di Haoyin directly carried her in his arms. What are you doing?" Tang Bao nervously clung onto his broad shoulders. Now that she was touched by Di Haoyin, her whole body would tense up. Tang Bao thought of something and was stunned. Her voice was trembling. You can't be." Di Haoyin put her on the bed and his handsome face inched closer. "If you have doubts, I'll prove it to you." No need. Tang Bao quickly waved her hands. It wasn't the first day that she knew Di Haoyin. Was there need to prove it? Chapter 848. Tang Bao sat on the bed and did not move. A few minutes later, Di Haoyin came in with food. It was quite sumptuous. The fragrance assailed his nostrils, making Tang Bao hungry. But she thought of something and asked, "Who picked up the 2 babies?" "Me." "You picked them up?" "I didn't know at all." Tang Bao was completely knocked out by Di Haoyin. She really did not know what Di Haoyin did. "Let me do everything. You just need to sleep and rest. I should also pick up the children. With your husband here, you don't need to do anything, including eating. You just need to open your mouth." Di Haoyin picked up some food and brought it to her mouth. Tang Bao's face heated up. Why did she feel like she was disabled? She felt that she should hurry up and set up the studio. Otherwise, if this continued, she would not need to get out of bed. She would just stay in bed. Looking at Di Haoyin's focused expression as he fed her, Tang Bao thought of the words she said before she woke up. Was that Di Haoyin's confession? What was he thinking when he said that? Tang Bao did not dare to ask. After all, when she was unconscious, her thinking was different from when she was awake. "Di Haoyin, can you let me sleep well tonight?" Tang Bao asked. "Of course. Then I want to send the 2 babies off tomorrow morning. If I oversleep, you have to wake me up." After all, the 2 babies were bullying her in the classroom. It would be unreasonable if she did not send them off. "Okay," Di Haoyin agreed. When the 2 of them left the office, Di Haoyin carried Tang Bao. Tang Bao also wanted to refuse. After all, there was a surveillance camera in the elevator. However, she also knew that her body was not strong enough. In the end, she could only let Di Haoyin carry her away. Why did she feel that as long as she was with Di Haoyin, it was as if she had no legs? Just the thought of it was embarrassing. Just as they were about to reach the elevator, they bumped into Di Junbai, who was about to get off work. Di Junbai was slightly taken aback when he saw the scene. Tang Bao also saw Di Haoyin. His face looked like he wanted to find a hole to hide in. Didn't they say that there was no one? What was going on? Wasn't she too unlucky? He even ran into someone he was familiar with. "Young master." Di Junbai's gaze slid past Tang Bao and greeted Di Haoyin. "Okay." Di Haoyin responded faintly and entered the elevator with Tang Bao in his arms. After the elevator door closed, Tang Bao saw Di Hao Yan's cold face and asked, "What's wrong?" "It's nothing." How could Tang Bao not know why his face was so cold? It was because he saw Di Junbai. "It's okay. I'm used to it anyway." "What are you used to?" "Overbearing, domineering, and extremely controlling." "Is that so?" "No." Tang Bao was rather surprised that Di Hao Yan would ask such a question. "No," Di Hao Yan said with certainty. Tang Bao thought so too. This was just like how a drunk person would not admit that he was drunk. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Yan's cold face and leaned over to kiss Di Hao Yan's face gently. The coldness on Di Hao Yan's face immediately faded, and the lines on his face were not as tense as before. It could be said that he had softened. "When you said that you like me, what kind of like do you mean?" Di Hao Yan's dark eyes stared at her intently as he asked. "Like is like. Is there a need to differentiate what kind?" Tang Bao's face turned red. Why did he mention this again? She was too embarrassed to mention it. "I love you, so I want to sleep with you. I want to see you all the time. When I don't see you for a while, I miss you so much that I go crazy." Di Hao Yan directly confessed his love. Tang Bao's face turned red, and her eyes flashed. "What about you?" I also." Tang Bao felt that her voice had become soft, as if only she could hear it. "What is it?" It's like when I want to sleep with you." "Was that right?" She said it after Di Hao Yan, but she felt that the words after that were too mushy and could not continue. Was it because she could not say the words that were perverted, or was it because she could not say the words that were mushy? Tang Bao could not tell the difference. She could not hide anything from Di Hao Yan's vast and deep dark eyes. Di Hao Yan's dark eyes were deep and flashing, like flowing undercurrents, emitting a luster that could easily drown a person. "I know you like it." Tang Bao was stunned. She felt that she had reaped what she had sown. "You know? You? How did you know?" However, she was not stupid enough to ask. If that was the case, would Di Hao Yan become worse in the future? Why did she not think of that when she said it? If she had known, she would have said the mushy words after that. At least, it would not make Di Hao Yan go overboard, right? However, Di Hao Yan would not give her a chance to go back on her words. After they got into the car, Di Hao Yan pressed Tang Bao down on the black seat. His dark eyes were deep, and his voice was low and hoarse. "I'll give you whatever you like." Ugh. Tang Bao wanted to say, "I don't like it." However, in the next second, Di Hao Yan's thin lips covered her trembling and panicked little mouth. Tang Bao really wanted to cry, but had no tears. After the car left the underground parking lot, Di Junbai walked out of the staff elevator and into the parking lot. He watched the bodyguard's car leave and gradually disappear in front of him. He walked to his side and got into the car. However, he did not start the engine immediately. Instead, he sat there in a daze. The lights in the car shone on his face, making him look gloomy. Jealousy and anger were brewing in his heart. He suppressed it, brewed it, suppressed it, and repeated it over and over again. This was because he knew why Di Hao Yan and Tang Bao had only left now. Why did Tang Bao need Di Hao Yan to hug him when he came out? However, could he keep hugging him like this? There would be a moment when he had to let go. His phone vibrated. Di Junbai came back to his senses and took the phone. It was a video call invitation. He clicked on the link. Immediately, the 3-year-old boy from last time appeared on the screen. He had a childish face and a cold expression. He was wearing a black suit and was sitting upright. "Daddy, is it night over there? It's past 9 o'clock, right? What do you want to ask?" "My mommy hasn't been found yet. I can't wait. Why don't I go back to China and look for her myself?" The boy said thoughtfully. "You want to come back?" "Can't I?" the boy asked. "Wait for me to arrange it." "Okay." After the video call ended, the little boy jumped down from the sofa and ordered the servant next to him, "Book a ticket for me. I want to go back to China." "Didn't Mr. D say that you still need to arrange it?" The little boy turned around coldly and looked at the servant. "Doesn't arranging mean agreeing? Do I have to say it again?" "Go now." "Yes." Chapter 849. Yes. Yes. The servant was frightened and quickly went to do it. This little devil was definitely not to be trifled with. He didn't know why, but Mr. D was clearly a gentle and refined man. How could he have such a demonic son? Like that woman he had never seen before? After the servant bought the plane tickets, he really didn't dare to tell D Junbai. It was obvious how afraid he was of this little devil. Because he had always been taking care of him, he knew him too well. Then, that night, he took the little devil on the plane back to China. Wow, look at that little boy. He's so good looking. There's no smile on his face at all. He looks so cold, but so cute. Yeah, if I had a son like that, I would wake up smiling in my dreams. I want to have a son like that, too. When D. Bowling's gaze swept over, the women actually felt a chill and immediately fell silent. D. Bowling coldly retracted his gaze and spat out 3 words in his heart. Ugly. However, D. Bowling was used to it. It was like this all the way. As long as someone saw him, they would be stunned and even overflow with maternal love. If it weren't for D. Bowling's cold expression, those people would have touched him. After boarding the plane, the servant, old Joe, asked, "Young master, what if Mr. D asks about you when you return to China?" "Ask about what?" "Ask why you didn't ask for his permission." When D. Bowling looked over unhappily, old Joe's words were stuck in his throat. Then, he didn't ask anymore. He would talk about it when the time came. Anyway, he felt that the chances of him being unlucky were higher. Who asked him to be a servant? However, Mr. D was such a gentleman. He wouldn't ask him to get lost, right? D. Bowling set foot on this land for the first time after returning to China, because he had been abroad since he was born. As for why his daddy was in China, he said that he was looking for his biological mommy. Of course, he was willing to listen to this reason. However, after searching for so long, he still couldn't find her. He was a little impatient. He might as well come back to look for her himself. Wasn't she in the capital? Then he would go straight back to the capital. It was old Joe's first time in the capital. However, he didn't dare to look around. He asked his little master, "Young master, do you want Mr. D to pick you up at the airport?" "No need." "No need? Then where are we staying?" Old Joe asked anxiously. "You don't have any money on you?" "Yes." "Let's familiarize ourselves with D City first. I want to see what D City looks like. After all, this is where my mommy lives," D Junbai said to him. This, Lao Zhou still wanted to say something, but D Bowling walked forward. He had no choice but to follow closely behind. In the evening, D Junbai received a call from the school. "What did you say?" D Bowling didn't come to school. After D Junbai hung up, he called Old Joe. Old Joe was accompanying the little devil. Little Devil stood next to a claw machine and curiously watched the people playing with the claw machines. When the people playing with the claw machines noticed him, they were very surprised. Where did this cool little handsome guy come from? How could they still be in the mood to play with the claw machines? They even picked up their phones to take pictures of him. Who told you to do that? You're not allowed to shoot. Old Joe went forward to chase them away. D Bowling turned around and walked away expressionlessly. A bunch of country bumpkins. However, in this vast crowd, who was his mommy? Old Joe heard his phone ring. He took it out and saw that it was D Junbai calling. He thought that something bad must have happened. He picked up the call. "Mr. D, why didn't Bowling go to school?" "Sir, I've already told you." "Don't be angry." "What is it?" "Young master came back to China." I brought him back." Old Joe wanted to cry, but had no tears. D Junbai didn't expect D Bowling to come back to China. This request was definitely not made by Old Joe. He knew D Bowling's character very well. "Where are you now?" "I'll go and pick you up." Old Joe heaved a sigh of relief. Mr. D was indeed gentle. He didn't even scold him. He quickly told him the address. D Junbai came out of his room and met Li Yuhui. After dealing Yue's death, Li Yuhui was greatly affected. However, she recovered after a period of time. It was just that her leg was injured by a bullet, so she walked with a slight limp. If there was anything in her heart, it would be her hatred for Di Haoyan's family. If it wasn't for Di Haoyan, would she be living such a miserable life now? She was even limping. No woman could accept such a defect. "Why are you going out so late?" Li Yuhui asked. Di Junbai stopped in his tracks and looked at Li Yuhui in confusion. Some things had to be said. He turned around and said to the servant beside him, Go and see if Miss Biao is asleep. If she isn't, call her over. Yes. The servant went to call her, but Lan Wanru was still awake. Ever since she was triggered by Di Haoyan's incident and couldn't get Di Haoyan, she hadn't been able to sleep well. Di Junbai knew that she was suffering from insomnia, so he asked the servant to call her over. Not long after, Lan Wanru came. He looked at Li Yuhuai and asked, "Brother, what's the matter?" "There's something I want to tell you." Di Junbai's eyes narrowed. "I have a son overseas. He came back recently." "What?" Li Yuhuai asked. "What?" Lan Wanru asked. The two of them said in disbelief at the same time as they looked at Di Junbai. "Is he adopted?" Li Yuhuai finally regained her senses and asked. "No, I found a woman to be a surrogate. The child is 3 years old. I didn't want him to stay overseas forever, so I asked him to come back. I know it's not good to keep this from you, but the child has been looking for his mommy, so I had no choice but to do this," Di Junbai said. The two women didn't understand why Di Junbai came up with this idea, but now they were even more shocked that Di Junbai actually had a son. Was there anything more surprising than this? Why did you think of finding a woman to be a surrogate? You should have told me at least. It's your child. Do you think I wouldn't want that child? Li Yuhuai didn't expect that she didn't know anything even though she had been a grandmother for 3 years. Just accept him. Also, don't tell him about the surrogate. I told him that his mommy and I love each other very much, but I accidentally lost her. I don't want him to think too much. I'll go and pick him up now. Di Junbai walked out of the door after giving his instructions. Lan Wanru didn't say anything the whole time. She didn't know what to say when she heard Di Junbai's words. When she saw Di Junbai leave, she ran after him. "Brother." Di Junbai, who had opened the car door, turned around and looked at her. "Is there anything else?" Lan Wanru walked up to her. "Why did you find a surrogate all of a sudden? Is it because of the Tang Bao? Was it because of the Tang Bao's death?" "I guess so." Chapter 850. What about you? Why don't you let go of Di Haoyan? With your qualifications, I can find you a husband who is of equal social status. As long as you agree, Di Junbai said. Lan Wanru shook his head. "I'm afraid I don't have that heart anymore." "Me too," Di Junbai said. "I have a son now. What's there to worry about? If this is what you want, I won't say anything else. Annie and I want to see what the child looks like." Lan Wanru smiled. Di Junbai nodded and got into the car. The car left the villa. When Lan Wanru returned to the living room, Li Yuhuai asked excitedly, "What did you say? That's really my grandson? It can't be a fake, right? How can it be a fake? If it's a fake child, will my brother be so eager to pick up the child? Do you think your brother suffered some kind of shock? Why did he suddenly become a surrogate?" Li Yuhuai seemed to have not recovered from the shock. "Brother has his own ideas. Besides, there are many surrogate mothers now. It's not strange. Isn't it because I want him to get married and have children normally? If that's the case with a son, will there be a woman who will treat the child sincerely? Brother obviously doesn't want to get married, so you don't have to worry about it." Li Yuhuai sighed. "Auntie, don't you like children?" "Of course I like them. He's my own grandson. I can't wait to dote on him. It's just that it happened so quickly that I'm a little confused." When Di Junbai brought Di bowling into the villa, Li Yuhuai and Lan Wanru were shocked. Such a delicate child, with a cold face, wearing a small suit, shorts, and leather shoes, with his legs exposed, looked so classy. His little face was also very cute. They immediately liked him very much. "Bowling, the one on the left is Grandma, and the one on the right is Auntie," Di Junbai said. "Grandma, Auntie," Di Bowling greeted. When he walked through the door, he thought that his aunt would be his mommy. But upon closer inspection, there was no feeling of fondness. Suddenly, she felt that this person could not be her mother. After Di Junbai's introduction, he believed that his intuition was correct. "My God, why is this child so beautiful?" Li Yuhuai lovingly stepped forward and carefully looked at her from head to toe. "Yeah, it's just like a painting." Lan Wanru smiled. Li Yuhuai took his little hand and said, "It's your daddy's fault for taking so long to bring you back." She then glared at Di Junbai and said, "He's much more handsome than you were when you were young. But she does look like you." Di Junbai did not say anything, but the light in his eyes dimmed slightly. Right. Annie, you haven't prepared a room yet, right? Lan Wanru remembered. Li Yuhuai knocked her head and said, Look at me. I'm so happy that I'm confused. I'll get someone to prepare it now. With that, she immediately went to prepare it. Lan Wanru looked at the silent child. He did not know why, but he felt that his eyes did not look like Di Junbai's, but they looked familiar. But he could not remember who he looked like. Maybe he looked like his surrogate mommy. Are you tired? Di Junbai asked. I might have to deal with jet lag. Di Bowling said coldly. Go to my room and take a shower first. After entering the room, Di Bowling looked around Di Junbai's room. Daddy, you don't even have a photo of my mommy? No. Di Junbai passed him his pajamas. You can wash it yourself, right? Or do you need my help? There's no need. Di Bowling turned and went into the bathroom. Di Bowling stripped himself naked in the bathroom, revealing his milky white body. He stood under the shower and washed himself like a little adult. He was very familiar with it. It seemed that when he was overseas, he always showered himself. After he finished showering, he came out wearing black pajamas. He liked the black color of everything. Di Junbai saw him coming out and patted the seat next to him. Come and sit. Di Bowling walked over and sat down. He looked at Di Junbai. Didn't I say that I would make arrangements for you? Why did you come back by yourself? I think you're too slow. Two people might be able to find it faster, Di Bowling said seriously. Di Junbai did not say anything. Since you're back, you still have to study. After resting at home for a few days, you can go back to school to study. Okay. Tang Bao prepared to open for business early. Little Ding came over, and the signboard staff also officially started work. She had a studio, so there was no need to make a big fuss. During the day, she went directly to Tsang Hong. She looked for the person in charge, Zhao Shijin. It was equivalent to her studio being under Tsang Hong's name. Other than the connection of interests, there was no other conflict. Tang Bao also had resources in his hands. However, in business, it was necessary to always strive for the greatest benefits for oneself. Manager Tang, I've heard of your reputation in the past and know your ability. But you have to know that if Meng Shi and Cheng Ju change places, their value will be different. Change again. Their reputation is there. They can't run away. Tang Bao smiled. Zhao Shijin asked curiously, You used to work under Liang Jichao, right? Then you should know that I have some dealings with Liang Jichao. Why didn't you look for Shi Xia, but Sang Hong instead? Of course, it's because I want to earn more money. I like Sang Hong very much. Tang Bao was implying that Shi Xia was not as good as Sang Hong. These words made Zhao Shijin feel very comfortable. Everyone knew that Sang Hong and Shi Xia were sworn enemies. However, why did Tang Bao choose Sang Hong? Liang Jichao was a vengeful person. If she chose Shi Xia, Liang Jichao would definitely take action. In Sang Hong, Liang Jichao would not dare to touch her. Besides, Tang Bao and Sang Hong were not working together for a long time. She still liked to work alone. However, her resources were limited now. That was all she could do. In the end, although there were some discrepancies in the contract, the distance between the interests was not too big. Moreover, Tang Bao wanted the long term, so he naturally agreed. Zhao Shijin was willing to sign this contract because of Meng Shi and Cheng Ju's reputation. It was mutually beneficial. As soon as she walked out of Sang Hong, Di Haotian called. It's over. Yes. The contract is signed. I'll wait for you to eat. It's still early. I'll go shopping, Tang Bao said. What are you shopping for? How is it early? You can go to the studio or come find me. How is it early? Di Haotian said domineeringly. I'm going to buy some books for Xiao Bao. I can't let her not be able to keep up when she's in first grade, right? Tang Bao said worriedly. It's still early now, Di Haotian said. Take your time. I'll go buy them. I'm already outside. Tang Bao bumped into someone. It was a child. Are you okay? Di Haotian's heart skipped a beat and his face tensed up. What's wrong? Chapter 851. Tang Bao hung up the phone and was about to pull the child up when the child stood up on his own. When he saw the little boy's appearance, he was shocked. What an exquisite child. Looking at his clothes, he should not be a child from an ordinary family, right? Deep Bowling only came out to see if he could meet a woman who could make him feel something. So he did not pay attention to the road. The person who bumped into him was a man. However, Deep Bowling originally wanted to scare him with a cold face, but when he saw the man's face and eyes, his expression did not turn cold. It should be because this man was good-looking. His attitude towards good-looking men and women was quite good. Did you fall? Tang Bao's gaze moved away from the little boy's face to check his leg. Because he was wearing a suit and shorts, his skin might have touched the ground. Such a tender calf, wouldn't it be bruised? There was a scratch, but there was no bleeding. It was red. Does it hurt? I'm sorry, I was on the phone just now and didn't notice you. Tang Bao looked at him and thought of his own child. Naturally, his heart ached. Seriously, how could he let a child run out on his own? Deep Bowling thought, why was this person so gentle to him? Why was he so concerned? Did he look like he had been hit by a car? You don't have any ulterior motives towards me, do you? Tang Bao was stunned for a moment and was amused by him. Do you think I have ulterior motives towards you? You think I'm handsome and want to carry me home? Tang Bao pursed his lips and smiled. You are indeed handsome and very cute. But I have children too, so I don't need to carry another one. You have a son too, a daughter and a son. Where are your parents? Why did they leave you alone outside? I don't want to talk about my privacy with you. Deep Bowling glanced at her and turned to leave. Tang Bao stood up and looked at the small and cute figure. He thought, what a character. He smiled and turned to leave. She had just taken a few steps when she felt someone tugging at her clothes. She turned around and saw the little boy looking at her with a delicate face. I don't have anywhere to eat lunch. Can you treat me? Tang Bao blinked. What is going on? But in the end, Tang Bao agreed. What was going on? In the restaurant, she ordered a children's meal for the little boy and watched him eat. The way he ate was very proper. The way he ate in a serious manner was quite pleasing to the eye. It was the cold nature of her small face that was very charming. Tang Bao was really puzzled. Why did she agree to his request to treat him to a meal? This was not her meddlesome personality. Perhaps it was because the little boy was too cute, or perhaps it was because the mother's love was overflowing. After all, she had 2 children. If they got lost on the road, she also hoped that there would be a kind person like her who would treat them to a meal. Suddenly, his phone rang. Tang Bao took it out and took a look. It was Di Haoyan. I'm going to answer a phone call, Tang Bao said to the little boy and went to the side to answer the phone. Di Haoyan's voice could be heard. Still not done? Very serious? You're not hurt. It's being done. It's not serious. No one is hurt. It's just, I treated a child to a children's meal. Are you sure the child didn't cheat you out of a children's meal? Di Haoyan asked unhappily. He's only 3 years old. How could he be scheming? Think about your son. Tang Bao was actually speechless. You're eating too? Di Haoyan frowned. No. You want to come back and eat with me, right? If you don't want to, I'll eat and go back now, Tang Bao said proudly. No. Di Haoyan immediately became serious. How long until you come back? Should be more than half an hour. Let that kid eat faster. After hanging up the phone, Tang Bao returned to the table and looked at the child who was eating seriously. What's your name? Di Bowling. Your surname is Di? Tang Bao was stunned. My daddy's surname is Di. Naturally, my surname is Di too. Is there a problem? Then what's your daddy's name? Di Bowling looked at her. I've said it before. I don't like people asking about my privacy. Tang Bao pursed his lips. All right, but he was puzzled. In the entire city of Di, other than the Di family, who else had the surname Di? No, perhaps this child was not from city of Di. There was nothing strange about having the surname Di. Well, let me ask you one last question. Are you from city of Di? Yes. Tang Bao was stunned. He was from city of Di? If his surname was Di, was there anyone else in city of Di? Old Zhou ran in hurriedly. When he saw Di Bowling, he almost collapsed. He was scared out of his wits. Young master, I finally found you. I almost lost my life because of you. Elder Zhou almost thanked the heavens and earth. He had only been in city of Di for a day, but he ran out. No one could control him. So what if he came out? In a flash, he disappeared. He thought that he had been taken away by bad people. However, the person sitting there was indeed a stranger. But the young master did not look like he had been abducted. "This is—" Tang Bao asked. "Old Joe," Di Bowling said. Tang Bao nodded. It looked like he was a follower who had accidentally taken care of this young master. She stood up. "Since you're here, I'll take my leave first." With that, she left the restaurant. "Young master, who was that person?" Old Joe asked curiously. Di Bowling looked at the figure walking further and further away through the glass window and muttered, "If only he were a woman." Huh. After Tang Bao got out of the car, he hurriedly went into tea. He did not even have time to look at his own studio, let alone go in. He was afraid that a certain demon king would be angry. He could not afford to waste even a second. She was still holding the roses in her hand because she realized that the roses in Di Haotian's office had already withered and were not thrown away. Therefore, she had to buy them before Di Haotian brought them up. Otherwise, you wouldn't know why he was angry. It was hard to fathom and unpredictable. The receptionist saw him and smiled slightly. Tang Bao also smiled at them. Looking at those people's expressions, they were already very calm. Actually, calmness was just an expression, but inside, thunder was rolling, holding roses or something, and it was for the young master. This was too exciting and too loving. She did not expect the young master to be captured by a man. She heard that when the young master received the roses that time, the expression on his face was extremely gentle. He was so happy that he hugged the man and kissed him. This was definitely true love. Tang Bao did not even knock on the office door. He went in directly and saved every second. However, she was the only one who dared to enter the young master's office without knocking. As soon as she entered, Di Haotian was sitting in his authoritative chair and looking at her. Chapter 852. Who are you giving it to? Di Haotian asked. Tang Bao thought to herself, do you have to ask when you already know the answer? Of course it's for you. Who else would I be giving it to? As she spoke, she even kissed Di Haotian's thin lips. Just as she was about to pull away after the kiss, someone grabbed the back of her neck and kissed her forcefully. Tang Bao felt her brain go blank for a moment. She was a little out of breath, and her face was even redder. Before it got out of hand, Di Haotian let go of her with a deep look in his eyes. Of course, Tang Bao was not angry. Not only was she not angry, she even smiled after being kissed. Me? Arranging flowers? Is arranging flowers more important than me? Stop fooling around. We still have to eat. Tang Bao pulled his hand away and stood up from his lap. She went to arrange flowers for him. She removed the dead branches in a vase and replaced them with the newly bought ones. Di Haotian wrapped his strong and muscular body around her from behind. They will still wither in the future. Then I'll continue to buy more. Tang Bao still did not know what Di Haotian was trying to say. It was not that she was smart, but Di Haotian deliberately expressed his words in a tone that she could understand. Okay, Di Haotian bid her. Stop biting. Let's eat. Where are we going to eat? A private restaurant. Don't tell me you sent someone to 6 restaurants to buy specialties again? Tang Bao asked. Di Haotian did not say anything, but Tang Bao could tell from his expression that it was most likely what he was thinking. After entering Di Haotian's private restaurant, she saw the dishes on the table. Although she did not know if they were specialties, they looked, smelled, and looked delicious. She did not ask. It was better to fill her stomach. Anyway, Di Haotian would not listen to her suggestions. While eating, Tang Bao thought of something and said to Di Haotian, the little boy I bumped into today, do you know his surname? His surname is Di, and he's from D City. What's so strange about that? Tang Bao was surprised. Not surprised? I thought your family was the only one with this surname in Imperial City. Many years ago, someone even deliberately changed his surname, wanting to be surnamed Di. It can't be. Aren't you afraid that your ancestors will crawl out of their graves? The old ancestor doesn't care so much. Di Haotian laughed at her. There are also people who change their surnames to Di in order to swindle others. Although Tang Bao was quite knowledgeable, he still felt like he was listening to a story. but she believed what Di Haoyan said. For example, if you went out to discuss business with someone and said that your surname was Di, you would immediately be able to see the person you wanted to see. T was that powerful in the imperial city. She had known this for a long time. Then, if I change my surname to D, I can also get what I want, Tang Bao joked. You don't have to change. You're already mine, and your surname is D. D. Tang Bao. What a terrible name. Yes, young Madame D sounds better. Di Haoyan agreed. Tang Bao quickly forgot about the little boy and did not take it seriously. Anyway, Di Haoyan himself had said that there would be other people with the surname D in Imperial City. Ivy, kindergarten. A new child had arrived, and he was in the two treasures class. The teacher introduced him to everyone. I'm very happy that D Bowling has transferred to Ivy School and is in our class. Let's give D Bowling a round of applause to welcome him. Then, the children below clapped their hands sparsely. Then, Xiao Bao leaned over to Bao's ear and said, Brother, he has the same surname as us. Yes. After D Bowling sat down, he heard people talking about him and looked at the two treasures coldly. Then, in a voice that the other party could hear, he said fiercely to Xiao Bao, If you say anything bad about me again, do you believe that I'll lift your skirt? Xiao Bao opened her mouth slightly and was stunned. Then, she shrank back to Bao's side. This person was so fierce. Bao defended his sister. She didn't say anything bad about you. She's telling the truth. Di Bowling's thoughts were, he really did not like this person. After school, Di Haoyan's car came to pick them up outside the school. After the two treasures got in the car, they realized that Di Haoyan and Tang Bao were also there. They were instantly happy. Xiao Bao jumped into Tang Bao's arms and complained, Mommy, a new classmate came today. He's good and bad. How is he bad? Tang Bao asked with a smile. He said that he's going to lift my skirt. Xiao Bao pouted unhappily. Tang Bao looked at Di Haoyan in astonishment. She found it funny, but she also asked very seriously, why would he say something like that? Because after the teacher introduced us, I told Big Brother that he has the same surname as us. When he heard it, he said that I was talking bad about him and wanted to lift my skirt. I didn't. Xiao Bao felt wronged. Tang Bao patted her head and comforted her. He's just trying to scare you. He won't do that. Xiao Bao looked confused. However, Tang Bao thought to herself, could it be that there were really many people with the surname D in D City? The child that they met by chance last time was also the two treasures classmate. His surname was also D. Could it be the same person? It was hard to say. After all, they were all children. Tang Bao asked, then what's that child's name? D. D. Xiao Bao could not remember. D Bowling, Bao said. Tang Bao was surprised. So it's really him. What a coincidence. Bao asked, Mommy, do you know him? The last time I accidentally bumped into him, we got to know each other. But we're not close friends. I only know his name, Tang Bao said. Then she said to Di Haoyan, that child is chubby and very good-looking. He looks like a smart child. No, he doesn't look like that. You'll know when you talk to him. I was concerned about him. He asked me if I had any designs on him. When I asked, he said that he didn't like people asking about his privacy. He's quite an opinionated child. I wonder whose child he is. Bao was not interested in this and asked, he didn't hurt Mommy, did he? Tang Bao was speechless. No, I'm an adult. I won't be hurt by him. I was the one who bumped into him. As an apology, I treated him to a meal. Mommy, you have to treat me to a meal too. Xiao Bao was anxious. This? Okay, I'll treat you to a big meal at the castle. Yay! Xiao Bao was happy. Tang Bao laughed dryly. This child was too easily satisfied. Di Haoyan did not say anything and just watched this heartwarming scene. His gaze fell on Tang Bao's face. Seeing her smile, so deep and doting, he felt even more satisfied than Xiao Bao. Bao did not say anything either, thinking that he had a plan in mind. If Di Bowling wanted to bully Xiao Bao again, he would know how to deal with him. Di Bowling stood under a tall tree and looked at his classmates who were playing not far away. He had a cold aura and did not want to join in at all. Just then, something sprayed from the side and sprinkled on him. Even though he was wearing a black suit, the red paint could be seen clearly because it was a lump Chapter 853. Deep Bowling walked toward Xiao Bao. Looks like you really want me to lift your skirt. I want to tell my mommy. Xiao Bao was so scared that she did not dare to move. You might as well tell the teacher. But who's going to listen? Deep Bowling approached Xiao Bao like a little devil. Xiao Bao was about to burst into tears. Why was this person so annoying? However, before Deep Bowling could reach out his hand, Bao was already standing between the two of them. I won't allow you to touch her, brother. Xiao Bao quickly hugged Bao's hand and hid behind him. Do you think I don't know how to fight? Deep Bowling's expression was cold. Last time, my mommy bumped into you and even treated you to a children's meal, right? Bao asked. Deep Bowling was stunned. That was true, but wasn't that a man? Where did this mommy come from? What mommy? That's a man, Deep Bowling said with a cold expression. I know. My mommy likes to wear men's clothes, Bao said. Deep Bowling was stunned for a moment before he became angry. Are you kidding me? Do you think I can't tell that he's a man? Bao asked calmly. Then how do you think I know? This time, Deep Bowling was speechless. That's right. If he didn't know him, how did he know? Was there a need for him to tell him that it was a woman? Was it really a woman? Deep Bowling thought about it as he recalled the man's appearance. He actually felt a little happy, but he did not show it because of his serious expression. After school, Di Haoyan and Tang Bao came to pick up the two babies again. Di Haoyan carried them to the car one by one. Just as he was about to get in the car, can you give me a ride? Di Haoyan turned around and saw a little kid dressed in a neat little black suit, looking up at him and Tang Bao with a cold little face. Di Haoyan was stunned when he saw that face. His eyes, it's you? Tang Bao turned around and was pleasantly surprised to see the delicate child. He said to Di Haoyan, this is Di Bowling, the kid I bumped into last time. Di Haoyan didn't say anything. He just looked at Di Bowling's little face. We can give you a ride, but where is your home? Tang Bao asked. Di Bowling said, thank you. Then he climbed into the car. Tang Bao was dumbfounded. Seeing that the little boy was struggling to crawl with his short legs, he hurriedly lifted him up. Di Bowling got into the car. The two treasures inside looked at him expressionlessly, but he pretended not to see them. After Di Haoyan and Tang Bao got into the car didn't leave immediately. Di Haoyan stared at Di Bowling with his dark eyes. Di Bowling's eyes flickered. He was nervous and didn't dare to look at him. He had never felt this way before. Even if he angered Di Junbai, he wouldn't be afraid when he looked at him silently. Little Di Bowling, didn't your family come to pick you up? If they came and we took you away, they would be worried, Tang Bao said. I told them to go back first. Also, you could just call me Bowling. Tang Bao thought to himself. Are the adults too irresponsible, or are they too confident in their son? Such a good-looking and cute child. Aren't they afraid of being kidnapped? Di Haoyan, who had been silent all this while, asked, what are your parents' names? That's my privacy. Di Bowling still said the same thing, like a little adult. Tang Bao wanted to laugh. Since you're in my car, I have to know. Di Haoyan's expression was colder than his. Di Bowling bit his lip and stared at him with his big eyes, refusing to say anything. Tang Bao tried to mediate. Forget it. Don't ask. Tang Bao looked out the car window and saw old Zhou. Open the door. Di Haoyan opened the door for her, and Tang Bao got out of the car. He walked to old Zhou. Old Zhou saw him from the start and quickly said, I'm sorry. My young master has caused you trouble. But my young master has never been like this before. Maybe it's because he feels closer to you. It's okay, but he wants us to give him a ride. I think it's fine anyway, but I don't know where you live. Tang Bao wanted the address. This young master doesn't allow me to say. Huh? Then tell me secretly. I don't dare. Tang Bao got into the car and said to Di Haoyan, that person doesn't dare to say the address. Di Haoyan stared into Di Bowling's eyes. Then let's go back to the castle. That's not good, right? Tang Bao was shocked. This child was only 3 years old. Even if he didn't know anything, wouldn't adults like them know better? What if the adults said that they were kidnapping the child? If he doesn't mind, why should we worry? He's only 3 years old, and you're 3 years old too? However, Tang Bao didn't say anything, but he still felt that something was wrong. But since Di Haoyan had decided, He must have his reasons, right? Tang Bao then realized that the two babies were sitting there silently. It was obvious that they didn't welcome him. Xiao Bao, who was usually very active, was also sitting there obediently next to her brother. He looked at Di Bowling again. He didn't feel uncomfortable at all. He was calm and collected, and his expression was cold. He didn't seem to have any objections to Di Haoyan's suggestion to go back to the castle. Could it be that this child didn't want to go home? Why didn't he want to go home? He didn't look like he was being abused, did he? Was he being mentally abused? Tang Bao had all kinds of thoughts along the way. When they arrived at the castle, Di Bowling looked around curiously. He was already living a very good life, but he had never seen such a big house before. When he walked into the hall, the interior was even bigger and more beautiful. He couldn't help but twitch his mouth. No wonder that kid was so arrogant. However, he didn't follow him here to look at the house. It was just that he didn't know why he followed a stranger. He didn't understand him at all, did he? This kind of unguarded and retarded behavior didn't belong to him. However, when he saw that man at the school gate, he couldn't control himself. Di Bowling walked up to Tang Bao. Why are you wearing men's clothes? Tang Bao was surprised by his question. Why do you ask? They said that you're mommy. Shouldn't you be a woman? Tang Bao knew that he was talking about the two babies, so he didn't deny it. Yes, I'm mommy, he said in a gentle voice. Di Bowling looked at her blankly and didn't say anything. What's wrong? Tang Bao asked when he saw that he was silent. I think we hit it off very well, Di Bowling said seriously. Tang Bao almost laughed out loud. Yes, we hit it off. I bumped into you first, and then your classmates with Di Bang Han and Di Yunxi. It's really fate. However, aren't you worried that your daddy and mommy will be anxious? My daddy lost my mommy. Lost. Tang Bao didn't quite understand. Yes, so I came back to look for my mommy. Chapter 854. Then aren't you afraid of being in a strange place? I'm not afraid. When I was abroad in the past, I always lived alone. Why did Tang Bao feel sad when she heard this? Such a young child. In the past, when she took care of the two babies, she felt sorry for not being by their side for even a day. Moreover, this child had never received such care. No wonder he wanted to follow them. Was it because she was the mommy character? Forget it. Let's wait for his parents to pick him up. Old Joe would definitely tell his family. When they were eating at the dining table, Tang Bao was really full of maternal love. Not only did she pick up food for her babies, but she also picked up food for Di Bowling and told him to eat more. Di Haoyan picked up food for Tang Bao and frowned. Take care of yourself. How much have you eaten so far? I've eaten a lot. Why are you staring at how much I've eaten for no reason? Are you full? Di Haoyan asked. Tang Bao's expression was a little awkward. She wasn't full. She ate the food that Di Haoyan had picked for her and looked even more obedient than the three children. However, it was very embarrassing to be so obedient in front of the three children. In fact, the servants standing behind to serve the children were even more embarrassed. Their jobs had been snatched by young madam, and they were even more afraid when the young master's expression turned so cold. They hoped that young madam wouldn't snatch their jobs anymore. Everyone in the castle knew that young madam was the young master's treasure and his flesh and blood. If the two babies provoked young madam, they would be treated coldly by the young master. Fortunately, the children were all obedient and very sensible. After eating, Tang Bao took the children out of the castle to wander around and then went to the amusement park. She watched them play. Di Haoyan walked over and stood beside her. His tall figure was very oppressive. Looks like you made the right choice in building this amusement park. Children like to play. I was thinking that in the future, when the two babies celebrate their birthdays or something, we can invite our classmates over to play. What do you think? Tang Bao asked. All right. Di Haoyan turned around and stared at Tang Bao's side profile with his sharp black eyes. Her eyes were so beautiful, and her long eyelashes were naturally curled. She did not need any makeup, and she was so beautiful. Don't you think that child looks like someone? Which one? Tang Bao did not understand what Di Haoyan meant. Di Bowling. Tang Bao looked at Di Bowling, who was playing, and shook his head. I don't know. Why are you asking me this question? Of course he looks like his daddy and mommy. Okay. Di Hao Yin did not say anything else. At this moment, He Ju walked over. Young master, Di Junbai is here. Tang Bao was stunned, but he did not dare to show it on his face. She pretended not to hear him and looked at the children in the distance. You still have to ask me this kind of question? Di Hao Yin's face darkened. Young master, he said, he's here to pick up his son. He Ju was also confused. Di Hao Yin's black eyes were slightly stunned. His expression was dark as he looked sharply at He Ju. There was only one child here who was not Di Hao Yin. Then, who else could Di Junbai be picking up his son? It was self-evident. What did you say? Di Junbai is here to pick up his son? Tang Bao was puzzled at first, but then he understood. Di Bowling's daddy is Di Junbai? It can't be, right? Is there a mistake? Di Hao Yin this. Let him in. Di Hao Yin's voice was cold. He Ju turned around and left. Di Hao Yin turned around and looked down at Tang Bao. Tang Bao was puzzled. Why are you looking at me like that? He's not here to look for me. I told you, it's strange for a child to have a surname. You're the one who didn't take it seriously. Not long after, Di Junbai was brought to the amusement park. Di Junbai's expression was normal. He was wearing a white suit and had an extraordinary aura. He walked in front of them with an apologetic expression. Old Joe told me that Bowling came to the castle. I'm here to pick him up. Tang Bao looked at Di Junbai. How could he be so calm? What was with the sudden appearance of a 3-year-old son? Even if there was no need to explain to anyone, Tang Bao still felt that this was too ridiculous. She could not help but look at Di Hao Yin. Aren't you going to explain? Di Hao Yin's face was expressionless. Di Junbai understood Di Hao Yin's meaning. His face darkened slightly, as if he was trying to calm himself down. He looked at Di Bowling, who was playing with the 2 babies not far away, and said, I was going to hold a party for his birthday next month and invite you to tell you about it. I didn't expect you to know about it beforehand. Yes, this is my son. You're married? Tang Bao thought that it was possible that he had a girlfriend and a child. No, I found a surrogate. She's overseas. The child has been overseas ever since and only came back recently. Di Junbai did not hide anything. Tang Bao could not believe that Di Junbai would do this, because from what she knew of him, Di Junbai was a conservative person and would not do such a thing. Even if Di Hao Yin would do it, he would not do it. But now, it was not an exaggeration to say that it was unimaginable. Di Junbai actually found a stranger to be a surrogate? Tang Bao could not help but ask, Who is that woman? I don't know her, and I've never seen her before, Di Junbai said. Tang Bao knew a little about this, because there were people in the entertainment industry who did this too. A male celebrity was gay. He did not want to get married, but he could not withstand the pressure from his family. He also wanted to hide the fact that he was gay, so he secretly found someone to be his surrogate. If he had a son, no one would think that he was gay, and it would also solve the pressure on his family. It was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. This was like a business deal where the man and woman did not know each other. There was only a contract, and they just had to pay the money. But would the child be happy if he was born like this? Why did Di Junbai do this? And when Di Bowling told her that mommy had been lost by daddy, it must have been to coax the child. Di Junbai smiled. Are you surprised? When I made this decision, I also thought that I was crazy. But sometimes there are many things that we have no choice but to do. Then how long do you think his mommy is going to lie for? Tang Baoji felt very uncomfortable in his heart. I think that when he's older, he should be able to understand how I feel. Then you won't get married in the future? Tang Bao understood the meaning behind his words. Yes, I won't find another woman to marry in my life, Di Junbai said with certainty. Tang Bao was speechless. She looked at Di Hao Yin. Di Hao Yin's face was cold and expressionless, but he did not say a word. The moment he opened his mouth, he said, Take him away. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Yin. You accepted it quite quickly? You didn't have any doubts. Chapter 855. What did it have to do with finding a surrogate? Tang Bao could not figure it out. After taking a shower, she went out. The room was quiet. There was no sign of Di Hao Yin. He really did not come back to the room? It was really strange. This was not his style. Although it was not his style, Tang Bao was still quite glad. Otherwise, there would be endless torment. Tang Bao felt a little hot, so she walked to the outdoor balcony and stood there, looking at the scenery of the castle outside. The sky was covered with a layer of gray film. Then, Tang Bao saw the street lamps and footlights in the castle lit up from the east to the west. Tang Bao had never noticed it before, but now that she saw it, it was so interesting and spectacular. Really, there was such a big scene even when the street lamps were turned on. No wonder it was the treatment of castle. The cool wind blew on her face, and it was very comfortable. Tang Bao also had a lot on her mind. She did not know why she kept thinking about Di bowling. That pure gaze, the determination to follow them back to the castle, and the indifference when he left. How could a child have so many emotions? It must have something to do with his growth, right? What are you thinking about? When a low voice sounded, her body fell into a strong embrace. She was tightly wrapped from behind, and her waist was also buckled. Di Junbai, Tang Bao said instinctively. Say it again. Di Haoyan's voice immediately became as cold as hostility. No, don't misunderstand. I'm just thinking about what he did. Didn't you tell me not to think about it? You're thinking about it here? Can you convince me? Di Haoyan obviously did not want to let her go. Don't be like this. I'm talking about serious matters. Am I not talking about serious matters? Or do you want me to be indecent with you? Di Haoyan's breath was hot, and he bit her ear directly. Tang Bao only felt a current brush through the pain. Don't. Tang Bao's breath was unstable. I'm not happy. Needless to say, I feel it. You know it was a slip of the tongue. Are you feeling uncomfortable because Di Junbai gave birth to a child? Di Haoyan's voice was still cold. Even the air outside was stirred up by him. Tang Bao was shocked by Di Haoyan's idea. Of course not. What does him giving birth have to do with me? Di Haoyan thought of the kidnapping incident on the plane 3 years ago. What Tang Bao said when he jumped out of the plane made his heart ache. He couldn't help but increase the strength of his arms. His voice was hoarse with a hint of madness. You are mine, both your body and your heart. Tang Bao regretted speaking without thinking. But how did she know that Di Haoyan was so sensitive? Your name is tattooed on my body. If it's not yours, then whose is it? As for my heart, Tang Bao paused because she was thinking about how to say it. However, she felt the arms around her waist tighten. She could even feel Di Haoyan's body tensing up. Tang Bao frowned. Was he trying to break her waist? Your name is also engraved on my heart. You can't see it, but I know it. After Tang Bao said this, she didn't want to care about Di Haoyan's emotions, because her face was already red and hot enough. This was the first time she said such words of love. Let me love you properly here, Di Haoyan said in a low and hoarse voice as he continued to kiss her. Tang Bao felt that the skin on her neck was burning. Her hands were on the railing. She wanted to push or dodge, but she was trapped between the railing and Di Haoyan. She couldn't move at all. Di Haoyan, actually, I just realized. I don't know Di Junbai very well, Tang Bao said, panting. Di Haoyan froze. You're still thinking about him? No, I'm telling the truth. Take the matter of finding a woman to be a surrogate. When I was friends with him, I already felt that Di Junbai was a very conservative person. Now, he's actually willing to be a surrogate. Or am I not good at reading people? Just like Di Haoyan. At the banquet that time, God knew why she was targeted by Di Haoyan, who didn't seem to be interested in her at all. Don't think about it. Now, you just need to think about how I will want you. Di Haoyan kissed her. The fiery kiss spread everywhere. She was the only one who couldn't tell that Di Junbai's feelings for her were not as simple as a friend. And, fortunately, she couldn't tell. Di Haoyan carried her directly to the railing of the balcony. Di Haoyan, Tang Bao anxiously clung onto Di Haoyan's broad shoulders. You'll fall. Not in the past, not now, and definitely not in the future, Di Haoyan said in a low and hoarse voice. Tang Bao frowned uncontrollably. She knew that it hadn't fallen in the past, but she was also afraid of making a mistake. It wasn't as if she didn't know how crazy Di Haoyan was at that time. Would she fall if she made a mistake? Don't think about anything, just enjoy. Di Hao Ian kissed her tender lips, and it spread everywhere. Tang Bao trembled and panted. A cool breeze blew, and the air was burning. Her pajamas fluttered from the railing and were blown down. She didn't know why, but she felt that Di Hao Ian seemed to be different tonight. It was as if he was carrying some kind of emotion, or as if he was using force to completely break her down. However, she couldn't think of anything else. The thoughts in her mind were disconnected with Di Hao Ian's movements. The next day, as expected, Tang Bao slept until late in the morning again. Di Hao Ian was not by her side. The two babies had already gone to school. Since she knew, Tang Bao was not in a hurry to get up. She curled up in bed and continued to laze around. After lunch, Tang Bao swayed leisurely on the swing outside and looked at the rose garden in the distance. It was so dazzling. Then, there were servants patrolling. They knew what they were patrolling because they were worried that the flowers would wither. It seemed that she had to mention this to Di Hao Ian. Were the servants unable to sleep well every night because they were worried that the flowers would wither or be eaten by moles? Tang Bao sat on the swing for a while. She thought of something and went to the stud farm. The pony was locked up in the stable, a stable that belonged to him alone. He was not tied up with a rope, so he was quite free. She heard that her Bao would take a look at his pony every day when he came back. Di Hao Ian really knew how to cater to his interests. Every time her Bao looked at Di Hao Ian, his eyes were filled with admiration. Even Xiao Bao was the same. Wasn't that so? A father was an indispensable role in every family, not to mention a powerful character like Di Hao Ian. She wondered if her Bao would inherit Di Hao Ian's style of doing things when he grew up. Tang Bao gently stroked the pony with her hand and thought to herself, "Are you glad that I'm back? Do you think that I made the right decision? Otherwise, how could I have the good times I have now?" At this moment, Tang Bao's phone rang. Now, she always carried her phone with her. Chapter 856. She picked up. "Why? Are you treating me to afternoon tea?" "Yes. Do you want a drink?" Juan Malay asked. "Not today, but tomorrow. I don't want to go out today." Her waist might not be able to stay outside for a long time. She couldn't take it. Tang Bao was already in a negative state. If she wasn't negative, how could she resist? "What are you doing in the castle?" Juan Malay asked. "I'm looking at her Bao's pony. Do you know how to ride it?" "Can't I look at it if I don't know how to ride it?" Tang Bao was unhappy. "Yes, I thought you wanted to ride it." "Forget it. I'm afraid of falling." Tang Bao laughed. Did she mean that she was worse than a 3-year-old child? "Are you alone in the castle?" Juan Malay asked again. "No. Is the young master here too?" Juan Malay's voice seemed to be a little higher. "No. Then what do you think?" Juan Malay was unhappy. "I'm not alone in the castle. There are Li In, Zhang Li, and other servants. Besides, there's a pony in front of me." "Ah, no, it's not a person." Juan Malay was angry. "What are you doing in the afternoon? Aren't you going to look for the young master?" "Why should I look for him?" She couldn't wait to put some distance between them, because Di Hao Ian liked to keep a distance. No, it was negative distance. "The studio is next to T. If you stay in the studio, you can see him at any time. I can also go and play with you," Juan Malay said matter-of-factly. "Why do I feel that? You're acting strange." Tang Bao narrowed his eyes and said doubtfully, "Am I? Then I'm hanging up." Wait," Juan Malay shouted. I have something to do. I'm very unhappy. It can't be because of me, right?" "Because he Jew." Juan Malay was angry. "How did he offend you? Did you have a fight?" Tang Bao could not figure out why he Jew would quarrel with someone. It was difficult for him to even say 2 more words. "No. Yesterday, he wanted to take me to see the new house, but I didn't go. Today, I called him, but he said he had something to do and then hung up." "Was he angry? I really want to know how to coax a big iceberg, like he Jew. Can't I just go to the new house with him now? You won't be angry, right?" Juan Malay had never coaxed a man before. She had never been in love before. She was also confused during her first quarrel. "Why don't you go to the new house?" Tang Bao was puzzled. I'm just embarrassed." "Malay, you use your thick skin when you shouldn't, and you don't use it when you should. You must be mistaken. Tang Bao laughed at her. Is this the time to mock me? Do you want to help me test it out? Why don't you make the call yourself? Didn't I say just now? He's angry. How can you tell that he's angry? I don't think he Jew can tell when he's angry. Hey, Tang Bao, can you be serious? Okay, tell me. How is he angry? I called him, and he said he had something to do. Isn't this an excuse to ignore me? I'm thinking, what could it be? Did young Master D ask him to do something? Juan Malay asked. If he really went to do something, I can at least feel more at ease. I don't have to keep thinking about whether he's really angry or not. Do something? I'm not too sure either. I'll ask Di Hao Ian when he comes back. What night? Now. Okay. I'll ask now. After Tang Bao hung up, he wanted to call Di Hao Ian, but after thinking about it, he called He Ju first. After a few rings, it was picked up. Young madam, what's the matter? He Ju's voice sounded. Nothing. I'm just asking. Are you busy now? I'm not busy. F***. Was he really angry? Otherwise, why would he tell Juan Malay that he had something to do, but tell him that he wasn't busy? Are you very free? More or less. Oh, it's nothing. I'm just asking. Have you been in contact with Malay recently? I quarreled with her. Is she angry with me or something? I'm just asking you to test her. He. Tang Bao found an excuse. She couldn't let He Ju see through her purpose. No, that's good. If there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. After hanging up, Tang Bao wondered why He Ju didn't tell her the truth. Was he actually very busy? After thinking for a while, he called Di Hao Tian again. Di Hao Tian, you came to the studio? I was watching the door and didn't see you. Tang Bao's mouth twitched. Di Hao Ian, do you have nothing else to do? Why are you watching the door of my studio? I was thinking that you might come over. Tang Bao didn't know what to say. This person was actually watching her? If she didn't go, he would watch her all day? I'm in the castle. Miss your husband? Di Hao Ian's evil voice sounded. Wait a little longer. I'll go back. Don't. Go do your thing. Don't keep going to the castle. Tang Bao was so scared that his little heart was beating out of rhythm. Didn't people say that married men like to go out? Why was Di Hao Ian different from others? It was the opposite. Why, you don't want to see me? Di Hao Ian's dangerous voice sounded. Of course not. You want to see me, just like I want to see you. Tang Bao giggled and then stopped. But let me ask you, did you ask He Ju to do something for you? Who told you that? Malay said that she called He Ju. He Ju said that he had something to do and hung up. Malay didn't know if this was an excuse to be angry, so she asked me to find out. You know, they're in a relationship. It's normal to feel insecure. I asked him to do something for me. What is it? It's about tea. Tang Bao felt that Di Hao Ian didn't seem to be willing to talk about it in detail. Maybe it was T's internal secret, so she didn't ask anymore. I got it. I'll tell Malay so that she won't think too much. After saying that, she hung up. Di Hao Ian stared at the phone that was hung up. His expression was very ugly. She couldn't wait to hang up on him. Tang Bao didn't realize what she was doing at all and called Juan Malay. Before she could hear the beeping sound, the call was already connected. It was obvious how much Juan Malay was looking forward to her call. Tang Bao was speechless. How is it? What did young Master D say? Juan Malay's anxious voice sounded. Can't you be more mature? Love made one's IQ drop. How am I not mature? Juan Malay lowered her head. I asked. Di Hao Ian did ask He Ju to do something for him, Tang Bao said. What's the matter? I don't know. Juan Malay asked curiously. Why don't you know? There's no need to tell me about tea, right? Chapter 857. Tang Bao was speechless. Was he going to leave after making use of her? After Juan Malay hung up the phone, she immediately sent a message to He Ju. Call me when you're done with your work. We'll go to the new house together. After sending the message, Juan Malay leaned on the table and thought, why do I have to be so obsequious? I'm a woman. Shouldn't I be coaxed? Later, Juan Malay thought about it. She was in the wrong, so it wasn't a big deal to take the initiative. After He Ju received the message, he replied to Juan Malay with one word. Okay, He Ju wasn't in the country at the moment. He had gone overseas to investigate Di Junbai. Di Hao Ian had said that if Di Junbai was fake, then Di Junbai would definitely do something. Not only would he investigate, but Di Hao Ian would also do something in D City. Just in case. Di Hao Ian appeared at Ivy Club in the afternoon. The children were taking an afternoon nap. Di Hao Ian walked in. He saw the two babies sleeping soundly. Then, his gaze fell on Di Bowling, who wasn't far away. He walked over. He stared at the sleeping face. Other people might not be able to tell, but Tang Bao was engraved in his bones. Even if he didn't look at her, he knew what she was like. That was why he felt strange when he first saw Di Bowling. Maybe they were too similar. But why was he Di Junbai's son? Was it really that simple? It would be best if Di Junbai went crazy and became a surrogate. Otherwise, Di Hao Ian's dark eyes flashed with coldness and viciousness. Di Hao Ian reached out and pulled Di Bowling's head, leaving 2 strands of hair in his hand. Then, Di Bowling woke up. She stared at Di Hao Ian with her big eyes, which made Di Hao Ian frown even more. Go to sleep. Di Hao Ian glanced at him, turned around, and left. Di Bowling lay there, as if he did not understand why his uncle was there, and why he was pulling his hair. When Di Hao Ian left the school, he didn't look too good. Then, she went to the hospital to do the paternity test. The moment Di Hao Ian saw the report, his hands trembled, and he tore the paper into shreds. The veins on the back of his hands were bulging out due to the force he exerted. Including his expression, no one dared to take even half a step closer. The entire atmosphere was filled with a violent element. Zhang Chao stood not too far away, not daring to move or speak, enduring the sudden change. The phone rang, but Di Hao Ian didn't pick it up. It seemed like he hadn't recovered from his rage. It was Tang Bao who called him. She wanted to tell him that she wanted to pick up the 2 babies. Surprisingly, Di Hao Ian did not pick up. Something must have happened. Di Hao Ian stood up, left the hospital, and went straight back to tea. Before he entered the office, He-ju had already called. Young master, the hospital where Di Junbai was a surrogate does indeed have the information of that woman. I found that woman, and she did just become a surrogate. She said that she was a surrogate for Di Junbai. Did this mean that there was nothing wrong with Di Bowling's matter? So, you couldn't find any clues? Yes. Di Hao Ian was silent. As expected, he should have crippled Di Junbai when he killed Di Lingwei. Young master? He-ju didn't hear any instructions and asked, "Come back. There's no need to investigate." Yes. Di Junbai returned home after work. As soon as he entered the underground car park, he was knocked unconscious. When he woke up again, he was already in another place. Also, there were torture devices everywhere. Are you familiar with this place? Di Hao Ian sat on the chair. His cold expression made one's scalp tingle for no reason. Di Junbai looked at him with some confusion. I've already been here. But why am I here? Are you really ignorant? Or do you think that I'm ignorant? Di Hao Ian asked. Brother, I really don't know. I didn't contact the Tang Bao. You don't have to blame me for anything that happened. Di Hao Ian stared at him silently, as if he was staring at a dead person. Anyone who was stared at like this would feel fear. Not to mention Di Junbai, who was surrounded by torture devices at this moment. That feeling was even more penetrating. I want to know, is it your mouth or your bones that are harder? Di Hao Ian gave Zhang Chao, who was beside him, a look. Zhang Chao took the whip beside him and went forward. There were barbs on the whip that had a green sheen. At first glance, it was obvious that something irritating was smeared on it. Di Junbai's expression changed slightly. Wait a minute. Brother, what are you trying to do? Even if I die, I shouldn't die with regrets. Do you want to explain what happened to Di Bowling? Di Hao Ian's black eyes were filled with malice, but his voice was within the normal decibel range, which made one's hair stand on end. What happened to Di Bowling? Di Junbai asked. Brother, don't tell me you think that there's something wrong with Di Bowling. I want to do a paternity test. Di Junbai looked at him first and then smiled. It was not a gentle smile, nor was it a happy smile, nor was it a sorrowful smile. It was the kind of smile that was so abnormal that it made one's hair stand up. It was very uncomfortable. And then you found out that D. Bowling is your biological son? Brother, how about this? Why don't you let me adopt D. Bowling? Actually, when Tang Bao gave birth to the twins, I took a liking to him at first sight. I can't help it. The other one looks too much like you. If I take him away, he will be recognized very quickly. If you like, you can have one yourself. Why did you steal my son? Di Haoyan stood up violently and kicked Di Junbai in the chest. Puffed. The force was so strong that Di Junbai spat out a mouthful of blood. You didn't expect me to find out that there's something wrong with Di Bowling, right? Did you think that your plan was flawless? Di Haoyan stood in front of him like a demon that had crawled out of hell, staring at Di Junbai maliciously. Yes, I didn't expect it to be so fast. Di Junbai laughed in a low voice. I never dare to underestimate you, but it is indeed a little too fast. Di Junbai, after you come in here, don't even think about leaving. Di Haoyan's whole body was frighteningly cold. He turned around and was about to leave. Have you thought about how to tell Di Bowling that you did this to me? Tell him that his father was imprisoned by his uncle? Tell him the truth, or lie. Don't forget that I've been taking care of him all this time. And Tang Bao, if she knew that the daughter she doted on for 3 years was adopted from an orphanage, and that her biological son had been abroad for 3 years, how sad would she be? Do you want her to be in pain? Di Junbai asked. Di Haoyan stood there without moving. His dark and gloomy face was frightening. He could change Di Bowling, but how could she accept Tang Bao? He did not dare to take the risk. Chapter 858. You're right. I didn't dare to tell her the truth. That's why I'm going to lock you up for the rest of your life. I'm going to make you wish you were dead. Di Haoyan turned and left. Di Junbai was silent for a moment before he chuckled softly. Di Haoyan, do you think things are that simple? Even if you have what I can't have, you'll only suffer. At the school gate, a black car had been waiting silently for a long time. The children were lining up to come out. Through the black car window, Di Haoyan could almost see the 3 children in the crowd from afar. Back then, they were twins, not fraternal twins. Tang Bao was completely unaware that the children had been swapped. How was he going to tell her? The car door opened, and Di Haoyan got out. The 2 babies ran over happily. Di Haoyan waved at Di Bowling. Come here. Di Bowling was reluctant to go over, but he felt that this uncle of his did not seem like a good person. He felt that a wise man submits to circumstances, so he walked over. It was obvious from his expression that he was not too happy. Do you want me to call you? Di Bowling looked up and asked. Other than that, why would he call him? Come back to the castle with me, Di Haoyan said. Why? I have somewhere to go. Didn't you want to go back with me yesterday? Why did you change today? Di Haoyan asked. Isn't it normal to change? You're not going to pull my hair again, are you? Di Bowling retorted. Di Haoyan's face tensed up, but when he looked into those eyes, his heart softened. He lowered his voice and said, Get in the car. Di Bowling hesitated. In fact, he really wanted to go. He did not know why, but he liked that place a little. It had nothing to do with the entertainment facilities there. Di Bowling asked Di Haoyan, If I say that I like your woman, will you let me go? Di Haoyan's face not only tensed up, but also froze. But he still gritted his teeth and said, Yes. This was probably the only man who dared to say that he liked his woman in front of him and could still stand here unscathed. But there was nothing he could do, because this was his own son. And if I say I want to marry her? Di Bowling asked again. Di Haoyan's face darkened as he threw him into the car. You won't get the chance. The 2 treasures did not understand why Di Bowling got into their car again. Their expressions didn't seem to welcome him, because Di Bowling is good and bad. However, after they got in the car and drove for a while, Di Haoyan said, Di Bowling is staying in the castle today. Before the 2 babies could get excited, Di Bowling jumped up. His small body looked fearless in front of Di Haoyan. Why do you want me to live in the castle? Have you asked for my permission? I have the final say. Di Haoyan wouldn't give him a chance to resist. This is kidnapping. Di Bowling pointed his finger at Di Haoyan. Di Haoyan looked at his little finger from the corner of his eye and snorted coldly. You are indeed the same as your mother. You both dare to point your finger at me. You can choose to call the police. Di Hao Ian was very calm. Di Bowling was so angry that his little face turned red. Originally, the two babies didn't like Di Bowling, but when they saw Di Bowling's face and neck red with anger, they felt better. Di Bowling was like a little tyrant in the classroom. He dared to provoke anyone, including the teacher. The car was making a turn. Even though the car was stable, Di Bowling's small body still swayed. Di Hao Ian was afraid that he would fall, so he carried him to the seat. Di Bowling was unhappy and wanted to stand up again. Di Hao Ian threatened in a deep voice, "Sit still." Di Bowling's body stiffened and he didn't move. "Why are you so fierce?" "So be it. However, even if I'm sitting still, I'm not convinced. I've already told Di Junbai, if you want to stay in the castle, you can stay at any time." "But I don't agree." Di Bowling asked. "It's useless if you don't agree. You can stay at the castle whenever I ask you to." Di Hao Ian wanted to do far more than that. However, if Di Bowling was allowed to stay in the castle, and if he insisted on it, others would definitely find it strange. The Di family must have known that Di Junbai had a child, including Yu Songhuan. They just didn't ask about it. Di Bowling was simply full of anger, but he didn't have anywhere to vent it. He glared fiercely at the two babies. He vented his anger on them. Bao wasn't afraid of him, but Xiao Bao was. This made Bao's expression very cold. Tang Bao was waiting for the two babies to come home in the castle. She sat on the sofa in the hall and watched a horror movie. When she saw Di Hao Ian enter the hall with the children, she quickly turned it off. This was a movie that was not suitable for children. "Di Hao Ian, why didn't you answer my calls? Didn't you see me all this time? I wanted to pick up." Tang Bao's words stopped abruptly when she saw the three children. Di Bowling, who had a sour expression on his face, stood out among the children. She looked at Di Hao Ian in confusion, because if Di Bowling wanted to come to the castle, he shouldn't have such an expression, right? "What's wrong?" Tang Bao asked Di Bowling with a smile. "Aren't you a little unhappy? Who provoked you?" Di Bowling's mood improved when he saw Tang Bao, but he still had to vent his anger. He pointed at Di Hao Ian. It was obvious who the culprit was. How did he provoke you?" Tang Bao asked curiously. "He insisted on bringing me to the castle, but I didn't want to. He even said that I could call the police. This is banditry," Di Bowling complained sternly. Di Hao Ian's forehead twitched. Tang Bao held back her laughter, but she also didn't understand why Di Hao Ian would argue with the child. "You forced him to come here? This wasn't like Di Hao Ian. Yesterday he was still cold and didn't welcome Di Bowling." Could it be because Di Hao Ian knew that he was Di Junbai's child? However, Di Hao Ian and Di Junbai didn't have a good relationship. No, it was quite bad. Or could it be that a child was a child, and Di Junbai was Di Junbai, and Di Hao Ian still liked children? "I saw that the two babies liked him, so I brought him here," Di Hao Ian said without changing his expression. The two babies looked innocent and didn't dare to resist, because Di Hao Ian's expression was very scary. "He's talking nonsense." Di Bowling jumped up. "What did he mean by Di Ban Han and Di Yunxi liked him? It was simply baseless." Tang Bao comforted Di Bowling. "Since you're here, why don't you take things as they come? I'll ask the kitchen to cook a lot of delicious food for you, okay?" Although this child existence was very sudden and strange, Di Bowling was still a child. What would he know? If Di Hao Ian could do it, she wouldn't have a problem too. Whether she liked Di Bowling or not had nothing to do with Di Junbai. Chapter 859. However, this really made Tang Bao look at him in a new light. After all, Di Hao Ian was a terrifyingly possessive man. "Actually, I came here because I like you. How about this? When I grow up, I'll marry you and you won't have to stay here anymore. When I grow up, I'll have a better and bigger house than what I have now. What do you think?" Di Bowling asked Tang Bao. Tang Bao was speechless. Di Hao Ian, did he bring back a love rival for himself? This little guy was too daring. He dared to openly steal his woman. Tang Bao only felt that the child's words were cute. "When you grow up, I'll be old." "I don't mind," Di Bowling said. I'm mine. Di Hao Yin directly pulled him over. Go wash your hands and eat. At the dining table, because of Di Hao Yin's authority, they ate obediently. However, Tang Bao was constantly paying attention to Di Bowling, and his little face was not happy. At night, Tang Bao was even more surprised that Di Bowling was actually staying in the castle. After tidying up the room and settling Di Bowling down, Tang Bao went back to the room and asked Di Hao Yin, Is Di Junbai okay with it? He had personally come to pick him up yesterday. It's okay. Di Junbai doesn't really care about him. Tang Bao was not very comfortable when he heard this. Isn't that his son? How can you say that he doesn't care about him? He's a surrogate. How do you expect him to treat him? Di Hao Yin asked. Tang Bao thought about it and felt that Di Hao Yin was right. Otherwise, Di Junbai would not have left his son abroad after giving birth. Therefore, he was indifferent. So, I don't think much of what I did to him. I'm just thinking that this is someone else's business, and it's none of my business. It's just that the child is a little pitiful. Tang Bao's face was filled with pity. Di Hao Yin looked at Tang Bao, his dark eyes moving. You seem to like that child a lot. Tang Bao originally wanted to say that he liked him, but when he saw Di Hao Yin's oppressive gaze, he immediately became alert. He's a child, and he's so good-looking and cute. It's normal for him to like him, right? You, don't let your imagination run wild. I definitely don't like that kid because of Di Junbai. Besides, I wasn't the one who brought this child here. He mumbled the last sentence of the Tang Bao. However, Di Hao Yin still managed to catch the hint. You can like him, and you can be good to him. Di Hao Yin could not say more. He was even cautious. Tang Bao was surprised. Why? Don't you like him? If you like him, I'll give you everything. Di Hao Yin's deep black eyes stared intently at her delicate little face. Her fair skin was extremely beautiful. But that's someone else's child. No matter how much I like him, I can't take him by force. Tang Bao felt as if he was listening to Di Hao Yin's words of love. He felt his face heating up. Di Hao Yin's hand circled the back of her neck, pulled her closer, and pressed against his chest. Have you forgotten who I am? As long as you like him, I'm happy to take him by force. Tang Bao's left ear was forced to press against Di Hao Yin's chest. The words that came out of his mouth sounded as if they were coming from his chest. His voice was low and deafening. She felt that Di Hao Yin was really domineering. However, she felt sweet in her heart. Just as she was feeling sweet, she was kissed. Tang Bao trembled all over. What are you doing? Go take a shower. She pushed him with her hand. Di Hao Yin's voice was muffled. It was low and hoarse. Let's shower together. Who wants to shower with you? Tang Bao was lifted up directly. She panicked and clung onto Di Hao Yin's broad shoulders. Di Hao Yin, I don't want to. If you do it again, I won't be able to go to the studio tomorrow. Was that still considered her normal work? The people in the studio did not know what the boss was busy with. She only went to the office late in the morning. As the boss, she felt as if she was an employee who was late and could not lift her head. And all of this was caused by Di Hao Yin. I told you not to open it, but you insisted. Now you're tired, right? Di Hao Yin chided. He kicked the bathroom door open. After entering, he hooked the door with his foot and closed it. You're still blaming me? Don't you want to reflect on yourself? You don't control yourself at all. Let me tell you, no matter how delicious the food is, you have to keep some for yourself. Otherwise, you won't have anything to eat in the end. This is the consequence of being oppressed. I don't believe that you don't understand this. Tang Bao tried to reason with Di Hao Yin. It sounded like that was indeed the case. But the person who was trying to reason with her was Di Hao Yin. So, it was a different story. Di Hao Yin put her down and pressed her against the glass door. His dark eyes were dangerous. You can't stand it because of the 3 years of absence. You'll be fine after more practice. Also, it's written clearly in the agreement. Are you trying to go back on your word? Don't forget, how much do you owe me for the 3 years? You don't have to pay me back? Tang Bao was stunned. 3 years of absence. If he really calculated it that way, how was she going to pay him back? He was going to kill her. How can I pay you back so much? Don't we have a lifetime? Di Hao Yin cornered her in a corner. Tang Bao's face turned red. A lifetime? It's too early to say that now. But her heart was so unstable, as if it was going to jump out of her chest. Tang Bao lowered her head slightly. Are you sure one wife is enough? Why is it not enough? I think I should find you a mistress. I'm very magnanimous. Ah! Tang Bao shouted in pain and kept pushing her. She was bitten hard. It was so painful that her scalp was numb. You! Let go, you bit me again. Tang Bao was so angry that she punched his chest. This person was indeed a beast. Are you going to say it or not? Di Hao Yan's dark eyes were dangerous and cold. She felt that even with the shower running, it could not dispel the cold. I'm just kidding. Tang Bao pursed her lips. She felt that a piece of her flesh had been bitten off. You can't even joke, Di Hao Yan insisted. Tang Bao felt wronged. I'm not saying that I'm looking for a gigolo. Why are you so agitated? Di Hao Yan's dark eyes glared at her. Then, he laughed instead of getting angry. You're still looking for a gigolo? No. I mean you're too agitated. I'm just making an analogy. Was this person's focus on outer space? You can't even make an analogy. For some reason, Tang Bao laughed when he thought of de-bowling. Di Hao Yan's expression was very dark and dangerous. Are you very happy? No. That de-bowling even said that he wanted to marry me. Is this gigolo him? Ha ha. Ah. Why aren't you saying it? It's you who provoked him. It's none of my business. Ah, Di Hao Yan. Tang Bao shouted in panic. Di Hao Yan simply gritted his teeth and swallowed his anger. Tang Bao was right. He was the one who had provoked him. What could he do? He did not want this to happen either. He had no choice but to do it. Therefore, he vented all his anger on Tang Bao. He was merciless. Tang Bao woke up the next day and realized that it was 9 o'clock. Chapter 860. Could it be that what Di Hao Yan said was true? That she had slowly mastered it? Tang Bao was depressed. She did not want to practice this kind of thing. It was very tiring, okay? When Tang Bao was lying on the bed, she could see the paper on the wall by the bed when she looked up. She sat up on the bed and looked at the two pieces of paper that were stuck side by side. She really did not know how Di Hao Yan managed to piece them together. Now, she felt that it was better not to try. When she saw Di Hao Yan tearing the paper, the pain in her heart was still fresh in her memory. At this moment, she felt that it was completely unnecessary. Why did she keep it in the drawer in the first place? Why didn't she just throw it into the trash can? She really did not know how to calculate. Tang Bao stood on the bed and was about to tear the paper off the wall. She felt that it was not good to put it on the wall. What if her Bao saw it? Wouldn't it be a bad influence for the child? Just as she was about to tear the paper, the air in the bedroom was invaded and surged. Tang Bao turned around and saw Di Hao Yan walking in. Tang Bao's feet were standing by the bed. She was so scared that she slipped. Tang Bao fell to the side. If she fell, she would be in so much pain. Di Hao Yan's face tensed up. His black figure flashed and caught Tang Bao, who was about to fall. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Yan in a daze. Her face was really gloomy. Di Hao Yan carried her and sat on the edge of the bed with her. He pinched her chin. Are you trying to scare me to death? Who's the one scaring who? If you didn't suddenly come in, would I have fallen off the bed? Tang Bao asked unhappily. This is my bedroom. Can't I come in? Tang Bao was speechless. This was Di Hao Yan's bedroom. It was just that Di Hao Yan's appearance was like a strong magnetic field that was unbearable. You want to tear it apart? Did you ask for my permission? Di Hao Yan asked, his black eyes dangerous. Tang Bao looked a little uncomfortable. Why don't you tear it off? If they were placed on top, the children would see them. Besides, de-bowling sometimes stays here too. Wouldn't it be worse if he saw it? What's wrong with that? Children are meddling too much. Tang Bao was speechless. Was it the child who was meddling too much, or was it you? Why do you have to stick to it? Isn't it the same if we take it down? How could it be the same? You're avoiding me even when I put it on. If you don't, I won't be able to see you, right? Di Hao Yan said matter-of-factly. Aren't you exaggerating? Tang Bao was speechless. This is more important than our marriage certificate. Do you understand? Tang Bao did not know what to say. Her little face stiffened in place. Di Hao Yin looked at her cute and pitiful appearance and kissed her little mouth. The faint and seductive fragrance made him feel satisfied. Do you really want to tear it off? Very much. Tang Bao did not hide his thoughts. How about this? If you agree to the travel agreement and the 3 obedience and 4 virtues, I'll agree to tear it off. Di Hao Yin seemed to be very easy to talk to. However, it was obvious that he was taking advantage of her. Now, sometimes Tang Bao could still escape from Di Hao Yin. After that, Di Hao Yin would let her go. Tang Bao called this letting her go helpless and unable to do anything to her. However, if she agreed to his request now, wouldn't it mean that there was no need for any thoughts of escaping? But was it really necessary to stick these 2 pieces of paper on top of it? She suspected that Di Hao Yin was deliberately waiting for her to reach the end of her patience to make a deal with her. After all, it would be easier to break her guard this way. Think about it first. Think about it before I serve breakfast. Hubby won't force you. After saying that, his thin lips even covered Tang Bao's little mouth. Then, he stood up and left to serve her breakfast. Tang Bao almost stared through the stalwart figure of his back. What did he mean by hubby won't force you? Wasn't he forcing her? Could it be that she had a second choice? She was so angry that she stood up again and tore off the 3 obedience and 4 virtues and the agreement. Di Hao Yin came in with breakfast and saw those things on the bedside table. His Bao was puffing up her face in anger. Is this your choice? Di Hao Yin asked with a deep smile in his dark eyes. Why ask when you already know the answer? Tang Bao got out of bed and went to the bathroom. Di Hao Yin's smile widened. Then, he put away the 2 pieces of paper. It was as precious as a priceless treasure. After washing up, Tang Bao walked into the bedroom. When he sat down, he noticed that the things on the bedside table were gone. He couldn't help but ask, Where's the paper? I put away. Where did you put it? Tang Bao was curious. I'm not telling you. Tang Bao was speechless. You could be even more childish. Li Yuhai waited at home for Di Bowling to return, but only old Zhou came back. She asked in confusion, Why are you back alone again? Where's Bowling? Madam, young master went to the castle. Why did he go to the castle again? He's been gone for a few days. What's wrong with this Di Hao Yin? Doesn't he have 2 children of his own? Li Yuhai said angrily. Yes, young master was willing to go. He was also forced to say this. After he found out who the king of D City was and was threatened, he didn't dare to tell the truth. Not only did he not dare to, but he also had a lie. Mr. D has always doted on young master. He said that while he was on a business trip, he could let young master go to the castle if he wanted to. Lan Wanru comforted her. Annie, Bowling must have stayed there because the children were having fun there. No matter how good they were, he can't do that. Besides, who is Di Hao Yin to us? He's our enemy. Why does he have to leave the children there? The child's biological grandfather was also killed by him. Li Yuhuai's resentment was still there. But we can't go to him and ask for him. Lan Wanru said, I can go to Yu Songhuan. Actually, Yu Songhuan didn't like Li Yuhuai very much either. In the past, even if there was hostility between the 2 families, it was in their hearts. It wasn't as awkward as it was now. Di Lingyue was killed by Di Hao Yin, and things had already turned out this way. She didn't even go to Di Lingyue's funeral. However, Li Yuhuai still came. Since she came, they couldn't chase her away. She only came over 3 years ago. Needless to say, something must have happened. Chapter 861. In that case, it was really Di Hao Yin's fault. Yu Songhuan couldn't help but blame Di Hao Yin in his heart. Di Junbai's son was a child and didn't know any better. How could he really let him stay in the castle? I'll make a call and ask. When Yu Songhuan called, Di Hao Yin was at the Tang Bao, and the 3 little guys were having dinner together. As soon as the call went through, Di Hao Yin asked, Junbai's son is with you? Yes. Di Hao Yin's expression didn't look too good. Because this was his son. You can let Junbai's son play there, but let him go back to sleep at night. Yu Songhuan said, he wants to stay here himself. Di Hao Yin said coldly. Di Bowling, who was eating, raised his head, and looked at Di Hao Yin. He felt that the man was talking about him. Also, when did he say that he wanted to stay in the castle? It was all this man's own decision. He's just a child. Yu Sanghuan really didn't know what Di Hao Yin was thinking. Could it be that he couldn't even handle a child? Thinking about it, it was impossible. This child is very opinionated. I found him to be a good person, so I stayed. Didn't Di Junbai go on a business trip? Then let him stay here. When he's had enough, he'll naturally go back. Di Hao Yin said matter-of-factly. After saying that, he hung up the phone. The three pairs of eyes at the dining table all looked at Di Hao Yin. Those who didn't understand expressed that they didn't understand, and those who were in a daze were in a daze. What are you looking at? Eat. Di Hao Yin's dark eyes swept over them as he said. Yu Sanghuan was also stunned for a moment when the call was hung up. Now, she no longer had the right to speak about Di Hao Yin's matter. She didn't really want to get involved. The Tang Bao was still alive, and Di Hao Yin didn't bring another man back. She was already very grateful. Why would she say anything else? It didn't make sense. But now Li Yuhuai had personally come to ask for him. Sister-in-law, what do you mean by this? Hao Yin is busy. If he doesn't have time, I can go and pick up Bolin myself. Li Yuhuai said, It seems like there's some chaos over there. Yu Sanghuan came back to his senses and said, Chaos? Could it be that something happened to the child? Li Yuhuai's heart was in his throat. That's not it. Hao Yin said that he was going to send Bowling home, but Bowling didn't agree and was crying. After all, that child is also the flesh and blood of the Di family. Hao Yin can't be too strict. He has children of his own and will treat them equally. Yu Sanghuan was still able to solve this problem. But Li Yuhuai still wanted to say something. Yu Sanghuan interrupted her. You don't have to worry. He's a child and is just playful. He'll go back after playing for a few days. Why don't you go back first, and I'll get Di Hao Yin to ask the child to give you a call later. What else could Li Yuhuai say? Yu Sanghuan had already said so much. It wouldn't do her any good to continue arguing. After all, the child was still in Di Hao Yin's hands. After dinner, the three children went to play. Di Hao Yin held Tang Bao's little hand and strolled around the rose garden. Tang Bao rarely took such a leisurely stroll with Di Hao Yin. Most importantly, she felt that it didn't seem like Di Hao Yin's style. However, holding her hand and not letting go was very much like his style, domineering and strong. Therefore, Tang Bao couldn't break free and could only let him hold her hand like this. The feeling of being wrapped in a thick palm and the burning sensation transmitted to her hand seemed to seep into her blood and spread to her limbs and bones. Her entire body felt warm, including her heart. Di Hao Yin, who called you when you were eating? Your mother? Tang Bao guessed. Yes. It seems that someone has found the bungalow. Why don't we send the child back? Tang Bao asked. They're having fun. What's the point of sending them back? It doesn't matter if he's in the castle, Di Hao Yin said expressionlessly. I know that's the case, but the child is someone else's. Although Tang Bao liked Di Bowling very much and liked him to play here all the time, if a Yuhuai made a scene, Di Junbai would come looking for them again. No matter what, they would be in the wrong. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Di Hao Yin tightened his grip on her hand. You're doing this because I like Di Bowling? Tang Bao asked. Di Hao Yin's dark eyes deepened as he looked at her. I like him too. Tang Bao looked up slightly. You actually like someone. Of course, I like you more, Di Hao Yin said as he looked at her with his dark eyes. Tang Bao's face heated up. She forcefully pulled her hand back and walked forward. After taking a few steps, she realized that Di Hao Yin did not follow her. She couldn't help but turn around. Di Hao Yin was still standing at the same spot. The expression on his face was cold. Not only that, but he also exuded an unfriendly aura. Tang Bao was stunned at first. What's wrong with this person? She immediately understood and walked back to Di Hao Yin and took the initiative to hold his hand. Di Hao Yin's expression became better. He took the initiative to hold Tang Bao's hand and walked forward. At night, while Di Hao Yin was handling some matters in the study, Tang Bao went back to her room to take a shower. Di Hao Yin had something to do at the last minute. When he received the call, he did not look too good. Tang Bao, of course, knew why. Di Hao Yin definitely wanted to take a shower with her. Tang Bao would not let him have his way. In the study. What else did he say? Di Hao Ian asked with a cold expression. He didn't say anything else. He just said that young madam would find out sooner or later. Did he torture him? Di Hao Ian asked. No. What are you waiting for? Yes. After hanging up, Di Hao Ian sat in his chair with a gloomy expression. What else did Di Junbai do? Di Ju had secretly investigated. Needless to say, there was definitely something wrong with the surrogacy. Di Ju had also investigated other things. He wanted to find out what Di Junbai had done in the past 3 years, but there was nothing. If possible, he wanted to hide it from Tang Bao for the rest of his life. Di Hao Ian calmed down his restless emotions in the study, got up, and left the study. When he returned to the room, he went into the bedroom. He saw a person lying on the bed. He could not see the head. From the small body under the blanket, he could tell that the person sleeping under the blanket was a child. The 2 babies were warned by Di Hao Ian not to enter the room without permission. Then it was obvious that this small body belonged to Di Bowling. Tang Bao walked out of the bathroom after taking a shower. When she saw Di Hao Ian, she looked slightly uncomfortable, but she was calm. However, when she noticed Di Hao Ian's line of sight and followed his gaze, she was also stunned by the fact that she couldn't see the person under the blanket. Who is this? Xiao Bao. Tang Bao only knew that her daughter was the most coquettish and timid. Just as she was about to walk over, the little guy under the blanket moved and lifted the blanket. His head popped out, and his face was facing Di Hao Ian and Tang Bao. His face was red from the suffocation. However, it did not diminish the cuteness and beauty of his little face. Chapter 862. I want to sleep with you, Di Bowling said with his head held high. Huh? Tang Bao was dumbfounded. What was going on? Why did he want to sleep with her? Di Hao Ian did not say anything and went forward to grab him. When Di Bowling saw Di Hao Ian approaching, he had already dodged to the other side. What are you doing? Don't touch me. Di Bowling was arrogant. I know why you're angry. Isn't it just going to your bed and sleeping with your wife? I said that I'm going to marry her in the future. What's so strange about me sleeping with her? Tang Bao was speechless. Di Hao Ian's face was really dark. This kid was really itching for a beating. Do you want me to beat you up before you come down? Di Hao Ian stood by the bed and looked at him with a cold face. You're a tyrant. Di Bowling accused him unhappily. Thank you for the compliment. Di Hao Ian did not care. But you'll know later what a real tyrant is. Tang Bao was really afraid that the adult and the child would fight. No, the child would be beaten up. This was not Di Hao Ian's son. If he was beaten up, what would the adults think? Was this not abuse? Okay. Tang Bao went forward to comfort Di Bowling and smiled. Why do I feel that your personality is not like your father's at all? Do you mean that I'm like my mommy? Tang Bao saw the disappointment and longing in Di Bowling's eyes that could not be hidden. Tang Bao could not bear to see him like this, and quickly changed the topic. I'll take you back to your room to sleep. Okay? Will you stay with me? I heard that other kids my age have mommy tell them stories when they sleep. Di Bowling's face was sullen. Okay, I'll stay with you and tell you stories. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian. His meaning was obvious. Di Hao Ian's face stiffened, but he didn't say anything in the end. Tang Bao then took Di Bowling back to his room. After Di Bowling lay down, Tang Bao sat on the edge of the bed, looked at him, and asked, What story do you want to hear? Snow White? Sleeping Beauty? I don't want to read girls' books. What little girl? Even little boys know how to read, okay? What book is Bandit D reading? Di Bowling asked. He has read a lot of books. Why don't I find a famous book that he has read and show it to you? Tang Bao asked. Sure. Tang Bao picked a famous book and read it to him while sitting on the edge of the bed. He had never heard of Di Bowling because he had grown up abroad when he was 3 years old. She didn't tell him about any famous books either. When Tang Bao saw that he was listening attentively, he thought to himself, are all children nowadays so precocious? Do they all like such books? Tang Bao remembered that her parents had said that she disliked studying the most when she was young. She had even skipped classes. She had even been beaten up by her mother for skipping classes. As he was reading, Dee Bowling suddenly laughed. Tang Bao was puzzled. What's the matter? Is the story that I'm telling funny? It's the 3 and for just now. Is it referring to Di Hao Hian? Tang Bao was puzzled. Are you talking about 3 and 4? What does it have to do with Di Hao Hian? Don't you have 3 and 4 pasted on the wall during the holidays? Indeed, he had to take that thing down. Dee Bowling must have seen it when he walked around and entered their bedroom. However, when he saw Dee Bowling's expression, he wondered why he was laughing and asked, "Do you know what 3 and 4 means?" "I know. It means that the husband is with his mistress in the morning and with his mistress at night. Then you got angry, so you stuck the paper on the wall as a warning, right?" Tang Bao was dumbfounded. This explanation was really amazing. Of course it doesn't mean that. 3 and 4 means that a person often changes his mind and is capricious. Is that so? Dee Bowling thought about it. Then what you pasted on the wall said that Di Hao Hian often changes his mind and is capricious. I feel that this understanding is more appropriate than the one just now. He's really that kind of person. It's so strange. Tang Bao was speechless. Why did he mention the paper on the wall again? He should have cleaned it up earlier. Children these days were really not easy to fool at all. That's not 3 and 4. Do you still want to listen to the story? If you don't, I'll let you sleep. Tang Bao tried to divert his attention. If he continued to ask, she would not know how to explain it to him. That piece of paper was a shameful thing. Fortunately, Dee Bowling had been abroad all this time and had not experienced the vastness and profoundness of Chinese characters. "Yes," Dee Bowling quickly said. Then he thought of something and asked, "Can you sleep here? Sleep with me?" This. Tang Bao met Dee Bowling's pitiful eyes and agreed. "Okay, then stop reading. Let's sleep together." Dee Bowling reached out to take Tang Bao's hand. Tang Bao was speechless. After they went to bed, Dee Bowling slept next to Tang Bao. He closed his eyes and was very quiet. Tang Bao let him hug her. She did not know what was wrong with her. Why was she willing to sleep with Dee Bowling without Di Hao Hian's consent? However, when she thought of these questions, she had already agreed. Perhaps she was soft-hearted because Dee Bowling did not have a mother. Dee Junbai would never call a surrogate mother back to the Dee family or let Dee Bowling acknowledge her. Otherwise, he would not have cut off any chance of meeting when he was looking for a surrogate mother. Tang Bao felt confused just thinking about it. The pitiful one was just a child. Not long after, Dee Bowling fell asleep. Even when he was asleep, his hands were still hugging her. His small hands rested on her stomach, and his small body was pressed against her softly. Tang Bao could have left secretly, but she did not. Just as she was about to sleep here for the night, Di Hao Hian walked in with a frown. Tang Bao placed a finger on her lips and made a shushing gesture. She whispered, "Shall I sleep here with him tonight? Is that okay?" Di Hao Hian walked behind her and hugged her from behind. "What do I get out of this?" "I'll listen to everything you say." "Bao, you're so smart." Di Hao Hian kissed her little mouth and praised her dotingly. Tang Bao thought to herself, "It's not that I'm smart. It's just that your request is so simple and crude. It has always been this benefit. Nothing has changed, okay? After they go to school tomorrow, we'll start." "No." Tang Bao was so agitated that she forgot that Dee Bowling was still sleeping beside her. Dee Bowling moved, and Tang Bao quickly patted his soft little body. When he quieted down and went back to sleep, she glared at Di Hao Hian and said in a low voice, "Go back to your room. I want to sleep." "I'll sleep here," Di Hao Hian said as he lay down beside Tang Bao. Chapter 863. What's wrong? Di Hao Hian asked intimately. "You already decided to sleep here when you came over, right?" "How could that be?" "There's no such thing," Di Hao Hian said calmly. Tang Bao was skeptical, but she did not ask further. However, her gaze fell on Dee Bowling's face in her arms as she chatted with Di Hao Hian. "Don't you think that his personality is not like Dee Junbai's at all? Or was Dee Junbai like this when he was a child?" "No." "Then he's like the mommy that you've never met before? How naughty must he be?" Tang Bao found it funny. Her fingers gently poked Dee Bowling's tender little face. It was adorable. Yes, he's like his mommy. Di Haotian buried his face in her black hair and said in a low voice, "If it were me, I would definitely not do something like surrogacy. Don't you think that your child would be very pitiful and not feel sorry for him living like this? You're so magnanimous." Tang Bao pursed her lips and said disapprovingly, "That's why I really don't understand Di Junbai's actions. Do you think I won't feel anything when you mention another man in bed?" Di Haotian's dangerous voice went straight into Tang Bao's ears with a hint of threat. Tang Bao was speechless. "What do you mean by mentioning another man in bed? I'm just chatting with you. You can only talk about me," Di Haotian said domineeringly. Tang Bao was speechless. She did not dare to talk about it. "I'm going to sleep." Tang Bao's whole body trembled. If Di Bowling was not beside her, she would not have been able to control herself. She would definitely have resisted. "Stop fooling around. Go to sleep." Di Haotian kissed her little pouty mouth, his dark eyes filled with smiles. Tang Bao was depressed. What was she fooling around with? "If you weren't here, I would have fallen asleep long ago." Tang Bao turned away and ignored him. She was going to sleep. It didn't take long for her to fall asleep. After she fell asleep, Di Haotian held both of them in his arms. He was willing to let Tang Bao sleep here. After all, he owed this child something. Looking at Di Bowling lying on the bed with Tang Bao in his arms, his heart was deeply shaken. Therefore, it was as Tang Bao had said. Her suspicions were correct. However, Di Bowling was very excited. When he woke up and saw Tang Bao for the first time, he felt warm in his heart. His happy mood made his little face less cold. However, when he saw Di Haotian, the uninvited guest behind Tang Bao, he immediately jumped out of bed and stood up. "Why are you sleeping in my bed? Did I write your name on it?" Di Haotian asked. Di Bowling was so angry that he almost choked on his anger. Tang Bao opened her sleepy eyes and asked weakly, "What's the matter?" Di Haotian glared at Di Bowling. It was all because of him that Tang Bao woke up. However, after Tang Bao woke up, how could she go back to sleep? Moreover, now that both of them were staring at each other, she couldn't sleep well either. One look, and she knew what was going on. Tang Bao pulled Di Bowling over and said, "Be good. Since he's so pitiful, let him sleep here for the night." Poor Di Haotian. Di Bowling looked at Di Haotian, who was silent, and finally compromised. "All right, since he's so pitiful, I won't be calculative. Then he's not allowed to sleep here in the future." Di Haotian felt that even if he had raised this kid since he was young, he would still be like this. He was born to make his father angry. He was the type who deserved a beating. Di Bowling got out of bed angrily like a little adult and went to wash his face and brush his teeth. Tang Bao comforted the younger one before comforting the older one. "You're not going to be calculative with a kid, are you? Can't I be angry when I'm older?" Di Haotian looked at her with a dangerous gaze. Tang Bao was straightforward. She leaned forward and kissed his sexy thin lips. "Are you still angry?" "Not enough." "Don't. Di Bowling will come out soon. He'll see." MMPH. Before Tang Bao could finish her sentence, Di Haotian kissed her forcefully. MMPH. Tang Bao's long eyelashes fluttered in shock. Soon, she was dizzy from Di Haotian's wolfish kisses. After kissing for a while, Tang Bao was released. She had just caught her breath when she saw Di Bowling walking out of the room with a serious face. Tang Bao cursed silently. Di Haotian's timing was really accurate. Di Bowling was not very happy, but he still wanted to talk to Di Haotian. If he did not, how could he leave? "When will you let me go home?" Di Bowling asked. "Is this place not good?" Di Haotian asked. "No matter how good it is, it's not my home." Di Haotian's deep black eyes moved, but he did not explain. "You can go back if you want, but you're only allowed to stay for one night." "Why? Didn't you say that I'm a bandit?" Di Haotian turned to look at him. Di Bowling. Di Haotian pulled Tang Bao over. "Let's go back to the room and wash up. Aren't you hungry?" Tang Bao was pulled away by Di Haotian, but she did not forget to turn back and say to Di Bowling, "Bowling, come down for breakfast." "Okay, got it." Di Bowling did not like Di Haotian, but he was very nice to Tang Bao. After Tang Bao returned to the room, She went into the bathroom to brush her teeth. Di Hao Ian did not go to the other bathroom to brush his teeth and followed her in. Tang Bao wanted to stop him, but she felt that it was useless to say anything, so she did not say anything. Just as she was about to squeeze some toothpaste, Di Hao Ian snatched it away. Tang Bao could only watch as Di Hao Ian squeezed the toothpaste for her. Actually, this was not the first time something like this had happened, but it was the first time she saw it with her own eyes. In the past, when she woke up and walked into the bathroom, she could see the toothpaste that had already been squeezed out. Di Hao Ian, why did you let bowling stay at home for a night? Why do I feel like bowling is your son? Tang Bao said jokingly. Then, she thought of something and asked, did you give birth to a son outside? Then you made me a stepmother without me knowing anything? If I really gave birth to a son outside, I wouldn't have the guts to bring him back. Di Hao Ian was telling the truth. When Tang Bao got angry with him, he became anxious. TSK, you don't have the guts? Do you think anyone would believe you? He was the emperor of the Emperor's city, the person who held absolute authority in the Emperor clan. Yet, when he heard the name of the Emperor clan, he felt fear in his heart. How could he not have the guts? Di Hao Ian handed her the toothbrush, then wrapped his long arm around her waist and pulled her close to him. Don't you know whether I dare or not? How would I know? I don't know. Tang Bao blushed and ignored Di Hao Ian's indulgence towards her. Of course, if he indulged her in certain aspects, she would be happier. You really don't know? Let me see if you really don't know. Di Hao Ian pretended to kiss her lips. Tang Bao dodged. I haven't brushed my teeth. You already kissed them just now. Chapter 864. However, she did not have the time to say anything at that time. She did not prepare before the kiss and did not have the time to talk after the kiss. She was dragged to their bedroom. No, I want to brush my teeth. Let go. Tang Bao blushed and squirmed. Di Hao Ian stopped teasing her and let her brush her teeth. The two of them went downstairs and the three children were playing in the hall. Daddy, Mommy. The two babies called out happily when they saw them. However, the next second, Xiao Bao asked pitifully, Mommy, did you sleep with Di bowling last night? But you didn't sleep with me and brother. Tang Bao looked at Di bowling with a calm expression. Not only did she sleep with you, but you're also telling everyone about it? She had to comfort the two babies. I slept with you and brother. We used to sleep together when we were in Boiling City. Have you forgotten? But we didn't sleep after we returned to the castle. Bao pointed out the problem sharply. Tang Bao felt a headache coming on. Di Hao Ian's face darkened. Did they think he did not exist? If they took turns sleeping with each of them, where would he rank? He deeply felt that having too many children had become a problem for him. Therefore, it was right not to continue having children. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian, who did not look well, and asked softly, why don't even think about it? Tang Bao. Di Hao Ian glanced at Di bowling and the two babies, who were eager to see the world in chaos, and said sternly, last night was an accident. That kind of accident will not happen again. As for you two, you're not young anymore. You should sleep on your own. Your mommy is mine. Do you understand? The two babies did not dare to speak. Di bowling was expressionless. Tang Bao looked as if she had been struck by lightning. You can be more domineering. What do you mean your mommy is mine? Aren't you afraid that the children will kick up a fuss? However, judging from the expressions of the three little fellows, it seemed that none of them had the guts to do so. It was just that Tang Bao felt a little embarrassed. The other servants were present. How would it look if they heard it? When the kindergarten class was over, Di bowling walked out of the school gate. When he saw Di Hao Ian's car, he quickly turned around and ran to his own car. It was as if he was running for his life when he saw a devil. The two treasures were speechless. They had never seen Di bowling run away like that. Di Hao Ian watched in silence. After the two children got into the car, he walked to Ol Zhou's car. The car window was rolled down. Di Hao Ian placed his arm on the roof of the car and lowered his upper body. He looked at Di bowling, who was sitting in the car with a cold expression. I bought you a pony. It's the same breed as the Bandit Emperor, but the color of its fur is different. It's black. It'll arrive tomorrow. Di bowling was stunned. He thought that the bandit was going to force him back to the castle again. He did not expect him to say that. I didn't say that I wanted a pony. Deep Bowling liked it in his heart, but he refused on the surface. I know. I wanted to give it to you. Deep Bowling pursed his lips and did not say anything. His charm was very similar to Tang Bao's. After saying that, Di Hao Yin turned around and returned to his car. O.L. Zhou watched the car leave and said to Deep Bowling, "Young master, your uncle is really good to you. You're meddling too much." Deep Bowling's face immediately darkened. O.L. Zhou did not dare to say anything. In the car, Tang Bao asked, "What did you say to Bowling?" "I bought him a pony. It's the same breed as Bao's pony, but the color is different. It's black." Di Hao Yin did not hide it. This surprised Tang Bao even more. This was because he felt that Di Hao Yin seemed to treat Di Bowling very differently. Perhaps it was because he was his nephew? Tang Bao could only think of it this way. "Do you guys have anything to say?" Di Hao Yin asked the two babies. "He doesn't have a mommy, right?" "I'm fine with it," Bao said. Xiao Bao's heart softened. "I'm fine with it just like my brother. It's just that it would be better if he wasn't so scary." Di Hao Yin asked, "Did he bully you again?" "No, I just don't dare to talk to him. He's very fierce." Xiao Bao pouted. She did not dare to go near him anyway. Whenever she saw him, she would take a detour. "I'll help you teach him a lesson next time," Di Hao Yin said. "Forget it. He didn't lift my skirt. I won't be angry." Xiao Bao was very magnanimous. Di Hao Yin's dark eyes were smiling. Then, he turned to look at Tang Bao. "I remember that you were very naughty when you were young." Who? Who said that?" Tang Bao did not deny it. She glared at him. "Hey, save me some face in front of child." "Our father said that," Di Hao Yin said. "My father told you about my childhood?" Tang Bao was surprised. "Yes, he said a lot." "What did he say?" Tang Bao asked with a slightly hot face. "He said that you were naughty and that you were beaten." Tang Bao was speechless. Her father had actually exposed her childhood scandal. Did she not want to lose face? Did it hurt? Di Hao Yin's dark eyes were filled with love as he asked, "You? What do you think?" Tang Bao's face became even hotter. Xiao Bao immediately rushed over and threw herself on Tang Bao's legs. "Mommy, were you really beaten? Did it hurt a lot?" "It didn't hurt." Tang Bao was embarrassed. How could it not hurt after being beaten? "Why wasn't I there at that time?" "If I was, I wouldn't have let Mommy hurt," Xiao Bao said worriedly. Tang Bao smiled and tapped her little nose. "I was still young at that time. Where did you come from?" You didn't? That's strange." Xiao Bao wrinkled her nose and found it hard to understand. Tang Bao wanted to ask Di Hao Yin indignantly, "Didn't you get beaten when you were young?" However, seeing that the two children were here, she thought about it and decided to save some face for him. Didn't they say that men cared more about face than women? "If only I had known you at that time. How good would that have been?" Di Hao Yin suddenly said. Tang Bao raised her face and turned around to meet Di Hao Yin's deep, dark eyes. He was serious? "You knew me at such a young age for what?" Tang Bao asked with an uncomfortable expression. "To take the beating for you." Tang Bao bit her lip and turned her face away. Di Hao Yin really knew how to say things that made people blush and their hearts race. However, it had to be said that this kind of thinking was quite good. When Di Bowling returned to the villa, Li Yuhua was extremely excited. "Bowling, you're finally back. I missed you so much. Why do you like the castle so much? After all, it's not your home. It's fine if you go there rarely, but you can't go there all the time. People will gossip, you know? It won't be good if Daddy finds out when he comes back from his business trip. I went there because there was no one to play with." Di Bowling did not mention that he was forced to go there by Di Hao Yin, that bandit. Gossiping? He felt that no one would dare to say it. "Didn't we play together in school? After leaving school, you should go home." "Look, the other children have also gone home," Li Yuhua said to him. She did not want Di Bowling to go to the castle again. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.